Welcome to Encounter Roleplay. Hello to those watching on live on Twitch, and if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to join us live for the show every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live show. Today we're playing the Ghosts of Saltmarsh, the Sirens Metal Episode 0 show today. But before we begin today's show, I'll remind you guys that we are sponsored by Fantasy Grounds, which is our virtual tabletop of choice. All of our beautiful maps and rules you will see tonight are using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games, and go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer, and 40k minis for 20% off. This week, check out our sponsor, Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. When we hit 20 retweets today for this show, we will give away a set of dice to one of you guys in chat. You can support the show by retweeting this tweet. It should show up in the chat now. You can just do exclamation tweet if you want to see it. And you can also use exclamation sponsor in chat, and this will also provide all the other relevant links for tonight. Finally, I'll remind you how you can interact with today's game. As a viewer, you can donate to affect the game by giving players natural ones, natural 20s, wild magic surges, and this month's special, the Table of Pets, which is going to be nutty if you guys do that. And you can, like I said, look that up with exclamation donate. All right. So, this is Ghosts of Saltmarsh. The Sirens Metal is going to be a D&D 5th edition campaign, and some of it's going to encompass some of my homebrew, and some of it's going to be inspired by Ghosts of Saltmarsh, the book coming out here soon in the future. We have some absences today. Some of our players have some family stuff come up today, so unfortunately they can't make it. But we have a wonderful set of cast here with us today. And so without further ado, let me introduce the cast. I'll start off with myself. Like I said, my name is Michael Sinclair. I've been dungeon mastering for 3 years. I started dungeon mastering on my last deployment with the Navy, and since then I've been dungeon mastering ever since. This is my first time dungeon mastering on stream, so if I'm a bit nervous, that's why. Let's introduce our first cast member, Pepper. What character are you playing today for the show? And tell us a little bit about it, just a couple sentences, and then just tell us how you're doing today.
Hello. So my name's Pepper. You can find me on Twitter at mebethem4815 and on Archive of Our Own, the same handle. I am playing our Isabel, the Tiefling Ranger. I've never played a Ranger before, much less a Beastmaster Ranger, so I'm super excited. Work was good. I've had a shower. I no longer smell like coffee. Life's good.
All those things are important. Okay. We'll go to our next cast member, Lindsay. Go ahead and tell us a couple lines about your character and also how you're doing today.
All right. Well, hi, I am Lindsay. You can find me on Twitter as Bubbles the Mermaid, as well as something that says Bubbles on Instagram, something that says Bubbles on Tumblr, etc., etc. And I am playing Zelrora Balin Zeus, the Dwelf. That's right, a Dwelf, because I just had to. Fighter. And she's super fun, she's super cool, and I'm super excited. This is also my first time streaming D&D, and I'm excited to see what happens. Overall, I'm doing okay today. It was very busy, working a movie theater, so all the movies coming out, finals week. It's stressful. It's nice to just relax and play D&D.
Right?
Just chill.
I'm so
just
happy.
Chill and roll dice.
We're just chilling today.
We're just chilling, guys.
And then last but not least, Alexei, tell us a little bit about your character, give us little lines on them, and also tell us how your day is going.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Alexei. I use they, them pronouns. My handles on Instagram and Twitter are ASG Creations. On Twitter, it's with 2 underscores because one underscore was already taken. I am playing Jade, the Shadar-kai barbarian. She is an elf variant that serves the Raven Queen and doesn't really know emotions other than sadness and despair because she lives in the Shadowfell. So it'll be fun exploring this not very charismatic character and seeing what she learns about being a person. My day was pretty good. I was at a SCA event, a Society for the Creative Anachronism, all day, and I just got home and it was a blast. So I'm looking forward to my first streamed campaign.
Awesome. And then I forgot to give my Twitter handle. So my Twitter handle is at Michael Kritz. And then it's the same for Instagram. And then those are my 2 social handles you can find me. I think I didn't go over Pepper. Pepper, did you give your social media handle there? Okay. And are you guys hearing Pepper? Because I can't hear her.
Sorry, I muted myself on habit. Yes, I did. I forgot to mention, this is also my second live stream with the counter roleplay. I previously played Vasily Ravenwood on Walk the Plank.
Nice. And okay, so our adventurers, we'll get into the story now. So our adventurers are in my homebrew world of Sunkan, and they're also at the continent of Vorn in the city Agerstein. And so if you want to think about Agerstein as a old kind of modern Viking town that is now a pinnacle of the culture for the north. They receive a lot of things shipping in and export a lot of things going out, but they're also one of the cities that's withstood a lot of battle, and so they have a lot of strength to them, but they have also adapted some new modern things. So it's a quite amazing city. I've designed it for quite some time now, and currently our adventurers are all at the Archein River briefing room. Archein River is essentially a private contracting company that is contracted out through the Navy, and essentially they just want adventurers to go out and seek, loot out, maybe deter pirates, and do some other things that the Navy can't be busy or bothered with. So this is where Archein River comes and some of the people from the Archein River group. So you guys are at, like I said, the Archein River briefing room, and in front of you guys are just sitting down, and for some of you, you're meeting each other for the first time. The people who aren't here today, their characters are currently busy off doing other tasks or getting prepared for the voyage, which you're getting the briefing now. So in front of you, you see it is an Aarakocra man who has very deep brown feathers, and he has a very black beak. He stands at about like 6.5 feet tall. The room that you guys are currently in are occupied. I don't know if you guys can see this here, but we're going to do this and that. And I don't know if y'all see that, but you're essentially in this briefing room that kind of looks like a small little Viking like common room, and the Aarakocra is basically just busy moving back and forth, kind of pacing the room and waiting for other people to show up currently at the moment. And after looking around for about 5 to 10 minutes, looking outside the window, checking where the sun is in the sky and determining, okay, this is the people showing for today, he goes off and speaks up loudly and introduces himself. Hello, my name is Dekas Kuf. I am the senior chief for the Navy, and I will be basically your handlers here at Archein River. I just come by and assign some things to you. So the current mission we need you to do, and we need you to complete it, is going to be intercept a pirate ship that is coming from the continent of Twin Leaves, which is our continent to the east. And we need you to intercept this pirate ship that is going to Hancha, from Twin Leaves to Hancha. They are trying, we've gathered intel that they are trying to take one of the king's ships of Lacragia, and the king's ship of Lacragia is basically shipping supplies and gold that they've brokered a deal with the king of Hancha to essentially make trade, keep the peace, and some old treaties to be fulfilled. That being said, King Joshua Baradun is hopeful that you complete this mission correctly. And basically, the Lacragia Navy needs to keep doing our peacetime missions, so we want to put forth that we are still keeping the peace, and that's where you adventurers come in. Should you choose to be privately contracted with the Archein River, then we shall get you situated. We shall find a ship for you to be a part of. There may or may not still be a search for a captain out there, or we may turn to one of you for one of these captain ships. So that should be quite exciting. Do you have any questions for me? I think you're muted, Pepper.
Sorry, habit. How much are we getting paid?
You will be getting paid about, let us see. And he kind of tries to, he looks at one of the folder of documents that he has in front of him currently. You will be paid about 300 gold pieces.
Isabel just goes back
What
to
is the
petting
level of danger?
Allegris.
The level of danger, that is quite a good question, is probable.
Probable. That doesn't exactly tell me what sort of dangers we're going to encounter.
Well, pirates can be quite shifty, and so can private contractors. That's why I choose to stay enlisted as a Navy man myself. So we're a little bit more refined, but that's where you and the rest of you, should you choose to be part of this. And yes, this is the type of work that you are seeking currently.
All right, that's a fair answer.
Do you all wish to join this Archein River essentially mission?
Yeah, might as well.
Amazing. Good, good. And you see him kind of like, he grabs a handkerchief from his military uniform and he starts polishing off his beak. Like he's always trying to maintain some sort of professional look, almost overly so. And he says, well then, let us take you to the LSS Jumper, which is the ship that you will be contracted out of. And I shall introduce you to the man who is going to be the basically the first mate and his good friend, who is the master of arms of that ship. So shall we be going?
You just show us the way, darling.
Okay, so he starts. He exits out of this this little small, almost tavern-looking room. And when you guys go outside, everything's kind of bustling. Things are kind of going on, and people are moving on the pier. So you try and not, get in other people's way as people are just passing by you. Look, the Agerstein port is one of the busiest ports other than Steel Beach on this whole continent. So just making your way through is quite difficult. However, when they see the Aarakocra, they see Koof walking through, people kind of move out of his way, recognizing that he's a man of stature and he carries himself in a way that's like that. So if you ever see like a bird kind of poof up a little bit, that's kind of how he's walking, as he's like going on, and he's like, "Excuse me, get out the way," and he's just going on, and you guys are just following him. So as you guys are walking through, you guys see this small little, it almost looks like a sprinter ship, something that's like quite small, as you guys get up to it. And there basically is, it's a wooden ship, and you see a single mast that's there. Well, no, sorry. You see 3 masts that are there. This thing's meant to go. It's meant to go fast. And you see some people walking among the top part of the decks, kind of already walking through, making preparations, trying to figure out supplies here or there. There's 2 gentlemen kind of speaking right next to where the helm is, and the senior chief, Koof, kind of clears his throat. "Excuse me." And you see this big orc kind of turn towards you guys, and he goes, "Yeah, who are you? What do you want? Oh, CG Koof. Yeah. Let me get these people for you. Is this the people that we're probably talking about?" And Koof says, "Yes. Please see that they are situated right away." And so Senior Chief Koof kind of gets you guys aboard the ship, and as you guys board the ship, he does like a sharp about face, almost too kind of formal and professional for a private contracting company. And after he does that, he kind of turns to and walks off the ship. And in front of you is this big, huge orc. He's kind of bigger for a half orc, is what you guys recognize. And you see another half orc kind of beside him that's smaller, kind of a reddish skin tone compared to this deep green skin tone that you see from the bigger man. And this guy introduces himself as, "Hey, my name's Dorothic. I'm the Master of Arms right here. Right next to me, that's Jamero. That's Jamero right there. That's our first mate." And Jamero goes, "It's nice to meet you all. My name's Jamero. I hope that you are ready to do some work and put in some hard sacrifice for this ship so that we can all take care of each other. Do we understand?"
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Then Dorothic, who is our massive arm, kind of speaks up, and it almost seems like it's hard to distinguish who is in charge here. They're almost like a buddy pair, and you're like, who should I be listening to? This person on the left or that person on the right? So Dorothic kind of speaks up, and he's like, "So, do you have any questions for us?"
Yeah, I have a question. To you.
Yes, go ahead.
Who's the better dancer?
Oh, well, of course, the better dancer is me. But if you ask everyone on the ship, they would actually probably tell you that it's Latrell. But I've cut some rugs a couple times. I've won a couple dance offs. I go from port to port, and I dance off all the time. I go to find out the most happening bar, and people know me there for all the dancing. So that's kind of how he kind of replies about the dance, and it almost comes off as like this over the top confidence, and you can't tell if what he's saying is completely true or false. It's almost hard distinguishing which one's which. And Jamero is kind of just standing there with his arms behind his back, kind of just more looking at all of you and taking you all in, and almost like he's peering into what your characters are and what you guys are kind of about.
Can
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I kind of tell whether or not he's being just like very just like objective, like observational, just sort of taking information in, or is he being like judgy at all?
Are you talking about Jamero or the
Yes.
Okay, yeah, go and make an insight check if you'd like.
Let me figure out what I'm doing. It's just a straight roll. Oh, it's not too bad. It's an 18.
Okay, yeah. It seems like when you're looking at Jamero, he's very steadfast and like solid. Like it looks like if the whole ship was like rocking against huge waves, he would just still be there, like standing steadfast. He's just perceiving you guys, and it looks very objective. It doesn't look like he's trying to belittle or do so in a demeaning way. He's just really being observational, while you still see Dorothy kind of just like popping and moving, and like he's right there. So it's almost like you have a dichotomy of two orcs or half orcs like right next to each other. It's kind of strange. That's when Dorothy kind of speaks up. He's like, "Have any of you been to sea before?"
Isabel's
Well,
gonna
I've
hold
never
up her
been-
hand.
Oh yeah, you have sea stories? I love me a good sea story. Let me hear what you got. Do you have have you ever been capsized before? Have you been man overboard before? What kind of sea stories you got?
Once we got trapped in a hurricane for 3 days, and my cat accidentally shit the entire bed.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, but this one time, listen, this one time I was on this one ship, this is a while back. This is a while back when I first started. And so I was under the ship, right? I was in the bottom parts, and there's all these pigs around, and we were transporting pigs, and then we hit a huge hurricane, and I'm telling you, there was big shit everywhere. It was everywhere, man. And it was crazy. I thought I was gonna get infections, but my body's so tough, I just shut it all off. You know what I'm saying? And so like he keeps like giving this story, and Jamero's like stoic, like he's not showing anything in his face, but Dorothy's kind of like looking at all of you, trying to see if like, oh, do you guys believe me, almost in a sense, because he always like wants to feel like he's believed. Yeah, so he shares his sea story, and he's like, okay, so I think Jamero has something for you guys to do. I think there's some things we got to do before we ship off. There's a couple of other people who came here. They're already off doing some errands. I need which one of you guys are a good swimmer here? Are any of you a really good swimmer?
I don't know, actually. I've
I
never
mean, you
tried
could
it
give it
before.
a try. I'll watch you,
Sometime.
Okay, sometime. I do need one swimmer for a task, though, and then the other task Jamero has for you.
Isabel just raises her hands again.
Okay, good. Yeah, you're the one with the sea legs, the one with the tiger and the cat crap everywhere. I like you. So what I'm gonna do is, okay, so we have this thing. It's about 100 meters, 300 feet, something like that. Okay, and he like points off the starboard side of the ship, so away from port side. So he points out there, and you kind of see this like little something out in the distance. Go ahead and make a perception check real quick.
Perception.
Mm-hmm. Let me see what you
13.
got here. 13. All right. So 13. So what you see outside, out like 300 meters away, there's a whole bunch of ships kind of like passing by in an organized fashion. Some of them smaller. There's maybe a more medium-sized ship that's being kind of navigated by two other smaller ones. So they're trying to make their way into port. And somewhere among all of that, you kind of see like this little buoy type thing. It's kind of like bobbing in the water. And then he's like, okay, so do you see that buoy over there?
I do.
okay, so we need our mail, right? Our mail's on that buoy. We need you to swim over there and get it. And so once we could get that, we have some other errands, and then we should be good to go. We're gonna set sail tomorrow. So what is that something you can do? I need one of my a best swimmer, a good swimmer. I have to be on this ship, so I can't really go anywhere. Jamero gotta be on this ship. We gotta hold it down with the guys.
I'm gonna take a moment to I'm going to take a moment to actually describe Isabel. She's about 5'5", slender build, except her her right arm is like completely jacked and her left arm is a lot sturdier than expected. She's got an archer's body.
Okay.
She's pure white. She has one horn curling up this way and one horn curling up this way.
Okay.
And she has a spade-shaped tail. And she's just going to take off her bow, take off the quiver, hand it to him, give Sasha the stay order, and just run with her hooved feet and jump off the side of the ship.
Okay, so you have your large, tight Ligris there, and you kind of tell her to like sit down. So it just kind of like sits there for a second, puts its tongue out, and then you see Dorothic kind of go, oh, and then it sticks its tongue back in and kind of like looks at Dorothic. He gathers your things right before you jump off, and he's like, I'll keep it in this barrel for you, ready to go. This is your barrel now. And he like closes the barrel, and then you dive off into the ocean. And go ahead and make another perception check real quick for me.
Ooh, 10.
Okay, so you're trying to avoid some of these smaller boats coming in, and you do so. It's not very hard. You're able to like navigate some of these smaller boats and ships coming in, and go ahead and make a strength check just to see how good you are at swimming and getting over there. Ooh, that's me rolling.
Flat 11.
Okay, flat 11. So, flat 11. It takes you some time. You get over there. You're a bit exhausted, and you see this kind of huge buoy over there. And there's something like attached to it currently, and you gather that that's probably the little piece of mail that or the mail thing that he's talking about. There's a huge buoy right there, and there's a small little other thing kind of attached to it that has other floaters on it, and so it's all just like floating there in this small little like wooden box.
Isabel, is it like tied onto the buoy at all? How is it attached?
It is. It's tied, so currently it's tied and you have to like swim a little bit lower. You feel around and you feel like, oh, I probably have to like duck my head underwater and go about 6 or 7 feet to go unattach where it's connected. Or go ahead and do an investigation check real quick.
6.
6. Okay. So you do you get 6, and so you're just like looking at this. There's like rope and chain, and it looks like haphazardly connected, and you gather like, okay, I can't find a place to cut this. I probably have to go down and like unattach it from there.
Isabel does.
Okay, so you go down, make a quick dexterity check. We'll see if you're able to unattach this real quick.
18.
Okay, yeah, you easily find like, okay, this is a simple knot. You've been on ships before. You figure out it's like, oh, there's a bowline knot. I can do this underwater and figure it out with my eyes closed. You kind of unloosen it. You swim up to the top. You catch your breath, and you're like floating there with the 3 little buoys. The 3 little buoys connect to this smaller box. You grab the box, and then you make your way back towards the ship. As you're making your way back to the ship, Lindsay and Alexei, go and describe your characters more in detail as we have Isabel making her way back to the ship.
Okay, well,
I'll let you go first.
Thank you. Age before beauty. So Zelrora is interesting. She is about 5'3". She's very, very muscular, very built. She has more of like a dwarvish build, but it's also very weird because she has like a subtle gracefulness that comes from the part of her heritage that is elvish. She has the pointed ears, The sides of her head are shaved, and she has a tall white mohawk that is in just a bunch of different braids. She also has a white chin strap beard that has little gold jewelry and just a bunch of like really cool things, and she just takes very good care of it. Piercing green eyes. She is covered in tattoos. She has mainly black and ink, tentacles crawling up her neck. She has a chalice on the center of her chest. She's wearing chainmail, but of course underneath the chainmail she has like this white billowy shirt that's like super low, like all the way down to like the pant line. Very tight pants, boots. She has just a smile that just like takes up her entire face. She's always smiling and just here to have a good time. And then hiding in her hair is a small white long-tailed weasel. And yeah, she's just here to party. She's just here to party.
Amazing. All
here
right.
to party, and she looks it.
She just sloughs on the beard oil a little bit to take care of it.
Oh, definitely. She puts a lot of love into that beard, man.
Like lavender and juniper, all that good stuff. All right, Jade, go and describe your character there a little bit.
All right. So Jade is about 5'8". Not exactly as slender as you would expect an elf to be. And she doesn't look like she's seen the sun in a while. She almost looks a little ill. There are dark bags under her eyes. Her cheeks are kind of gaunt. But at the same time, her body is more muscular and a bit more curved than most slim elves might be. She wears primarily a dark blue tunic with a high collar with a little necklace of thorns in red around her neck. And she has 2 pauldrons on her shoulders that are probably more decorative than actual armor that have a whole spray of raven's feathers attached to them. She wears black tight trousers and has boots that just come past her ankle. They're not very tall. At one hip, she carries a whip. On her back, she carries a javelin and a crossbow. She has dark brown eyes that are so dark they also look almost black. And her hair is not done in anything fancy, just comes to past her shoulder blades, falls back tucked behind her pointed ears.
Okay. Awesome. So after about like 2 to 3, about 5 to 10 minutes, you see Isabel kind of climb you see a little rope ladder on the starboard side of the ship. And so you kind of climb out, and you have the little box in your hand. You were able to cut off the little other ropes that you had over there. You kind of like one arm climb, like American Gladiator style, over the top of the ship. And then you guys see her make herself come out over the ship, and kind of like all this water coming down. Her hair is a little bit in her face, and then she comes and drops the wooden box. The wooden box kind of spills over, and you kind of see that there's like 60 gold that just kind of erupts from this box. And then you see Dorothy turn around and be like, "Oh, you got the yeah. I mean, thanks for getting the mail. You know, I was waiting on that delivery all day. I wasn't sure it was gonna be there. Yeah." Go ahead and if anyone wants to make an insight check, go ahead and make an insight check.
Yes.
Yes, I'm also going to make an insight check.
Please.
Which, Michael, if you could
That's
roll
an
that for
8.
me, because I'm still having a struggle with Fantasy Grounds.
Okay. So I
That
will
is
Her
a
investigation
hot
is
7.
Jade's investigation is +2.
Okay, so you have an 11. So we have an 11,
hooray.
and then what was it for you, Lindsay?
A hot, nasty 7.
Okay. And then Isabel, you got a
8.
8. Okay. So you can't really tell if he was. You can't really tell if he was expecting that package or not. But you also see Jamero kind of push Dorothy towards the gold, and he like gathers up really quickly, and he's like, Dorothy or Jamero kind of like, you actually see him a little bit flustered. He's like scratching his head, and he's just like, I've never seen someone actually get something from a mail buoy prank before. That's crazy. So you finally hear someone say, "Hey," from the top, the other side of the ship, kind of towards the stern of the ship. You see this little dwarf-like character come down, and she's like, "Hoi, are you messing with our new people? What are you doing?" And then you see Dorothic and Jamero kind of like straighten up really quickly. He's like, what did they do? What did they do to you? What did they make you do? What's going on? Tell me, who are you? What just happened here? Whose gold is that? What are you doing?
That's a lot of questions. I'm Isabel. They just made me go get the mail.
You see this little halfling basically start slapping Dorthic's calf because she can't reach him. And so she's like, I told you, stop messing with the new people. You're every time. And he's just like, stop. And it doesn't actually hurt him. He's kind of like bumbling around trying to collect this gold. He's like, who is that? What is that? Who was that belong? He's like, I don't know. I was just playing the prank. You know, new people, these new sales. You gotta do the pranks. And she's like, stop it. And she like settles herself together. And she's like, I didn't introduce myself. I'm the chief bosun of the boat. My name is Alingteria. But you can call me just like Boat Mama if you like.
Boat Mama. I love it.
Noted.
I love her. Oh my god.
I'll take care of you. If these people mess with you again, you let me know. I'll fix them up real fast right away, huh?
I will, Mom.
Oh, see, you already know. Yeah, just call me your mom. You already know. So okay. Did Jamero tell you anything about what we need to do today?
Other than the mail, no.
Okay, no, never do that mail thing. Never let anyone make you do that mail. There's no such thing as a mail buoy, huh? Don't let them pull you. So you can like, as she's like talking to you, she's kind of getting herself she went from like a smaller crate to a bigger crate, trying to make herself seem a little bit more big and like motherly like. So unconsciously she like moves her way up, and she's like almost talking to eye level with maybe the shortest person out of the bunch here, with a little bit above you, Zarora. So she's up there and she's like, okay, so we need to get some gunpowder. I need you to think of. I need to talk to. Let's see here. I forget his name sometimes. He's Luttrell. Luttrell is he's below decks right now. You'll see him in the powder keg room, and then you also need to speak to Ralnor, who's our chef. He's a good chef. So because we want some good food, right? Do you guys like food? Okay, so
At the mention,
we need you to.
yeah. At the mention of food,
Okay.
Isabel's tail just perks up.
Okay, awesome. So she's like, okay, well, I have some errands to send you. You go ahead and do them, and then you report that back to Jamero, huh? Okay,
Mom.
so she takes you down to below decks, and under the decks, it's a little bit crowded and not very lit at the moment. You guys haven't taken off to sea, so they haven't like lit some of the oil lanterns and stuff, and we're not at the gunpowder room at all. And then you also, as you make your way down from the starboard side of the ship, you're on top deck. You go under the decks, and you make your way towards the very back of the ship. you see this kind of this medium framed man with a he has quite a big gut on him, and he's just like looking through some things, marking some stuff off. He's behind. He has his back towards you currently, and then you hear Aling Terrier speak up. She's like, "Hoy, Luttrell, there's people here. You said you needed some more people to get the gunpowder for you." And then you hear Luttrell go, "Yeah, give me 1 second, 1 second." So you see him like still kind of like taking these notes down. What you see in front of you is just this kind of man that's a little bit too big for the small little door that he's in right now, and he's just trying to move things, and things on the ship are tight currently because you guys are about to get off and set to sail. He turns around, and you just see like clean shaven guy with a bald head, and he puts his hand on his hip and he's like, "So you guys are the new guys, huh? New people here. So I need a little bit more gunpowder for my cannons that I have on board here, because Lesmarie and Autumn need the gunpowder." And when you hear him like say this, go ahead and make a investigation check. Let's see. We'll have Isabel do it. So Isabel, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Six.
Ooh, okay. You saw two cannons on the ship, like one that was facing towards the very back of the ship, the aft of the ship, and you saw another one that was at the front. I believe is the stern. It's been a while since I used Navy terms, but the bow. I think it's the bow. Okay, we'll just say the bow. The bow of the ship, so the front part of the ship, and you saw them, but you couldn't really tell any details from them when you jumped overboard to go look for the mail buoy. You hear so you hear Luttrell speak up. He's like, "I don't know if you saw it, but I got my lilac gun out there. Lesmarie out there. She's my cannon, my front cannon. That's me. That's all me. And we have Autumn. That's the one that gets my back, my six. So we need a bit more gunpowder for them. I thought I had it all checked up. I thought I was gonna, have all the gunpowder I need for my ladies, but apparently I miscounted today. So let's see. Let's get you guys to maybe find some gunpowder. Any you guys experience with gunpowder here?
Isabel shakes her head no.
All right, well, all you gotta know is you gotta handle it like a fine lady. You can't be jostling around. You can't be shaking about. You can't, you gotta keep it up. You gotta roll with it. Don't drop the gunpowder once I tell you where to go. So you're gonna go out into the port. You're gonna find this gunpowder. You're gonna talk to my boy Ricky. He sells some pretty good gunpowder. So, and I think Aling Terry, you got the gold for that. She's like, yes, I got the gold. I have that. I'll just give it to them. So Aling Terry basically gives you guys she gives you guys about 200 gold, and she's like, okay, I need you guys to get that for him for his cannons, huh? And then we'll take you now to Ralnor. Ralnor is our ship. So you see Luttrell kind of extend a hand out to each one of you to go shake your guys' hand. So he goes one by one, and he actually takes the time to look at you and acknowledge you and shake your hand as he greets you one in each before you guys turn around and leave. You guys get to
Jade
this
sort
little...
of hesitates a moment before offering her hand, like she doesn't quite understand what he's asking for, and then offers her hand very hesitantly and looks a little confused by handshakes.
Okay.
And then takes her hand back. That was a very strange action. She doesn't actually say anything, but she just looks very confused.
Okay. He's like, I didn't mean to. It's fine. If we don't have to do that again. I was just trying to be polite, but it was nice meeting you guys.
It is nice to meet you too.
All right. Well, I look forward to working with all of you. I'll see you guys around. So you guys kind of turn around and you head towards another part of the ship, and it's another like this small these below decks is a smaller area, so it's kind of crowded in there. You go to the other side of the ship, uh, towards the front part of the ship, and you see this kind of like this guy with like really long, dirty blonde hair. It is currently in like a man. Well, he usually has long hair that drapes down, but he kind of has it in a man bun currently, and he's kind of like chopping away at some stuff and preparing things. You see him dunking a whole bunch of vegetables in this like big clear liquid. As you guys walk up, you smell like this vinegar smell, and it kind of takes you back a little. And he's just like chopping away, and Alingtier's like, "Hoi, Ralnor, I have the new people." He's like, "Hey, what's up, ladies? And whoever, gentlemen, whatever it's all good here. It's all good here. So, I'm gonna need you guys to get some salted meat for me." And as you see him in front of you, he's kind of like wearing maybe the loosest of clothing. He kind of has like almost yoga pants, not yoga pants, but what do you call those pants? Those pants are like really baggy and
Harem pants
made out of canvas. And so it's like super loose. It has like elephants and then like a koala on it, and that's all in patterns. And he's kind of just like, he looks super comfortable and like laid back. And he's still like chopping all these things. He's like, "If you can get some nice fruits at me, there's a market out there. It's quite nice. Any vegetarian options here? Any preferred options?"
I don't think I
As
have
long as
preference.
it's tasty.
Oh,
As long as it's
I always,
edible, darling.
oh, we can do that. So, and then let me know if there's anything else I can do to accommodate your health needs. I also sometimes some of the other people on the ship, when we get going here, I do some yoga stuff here while we go on board on the ship. It could be some long days at sea, and you feel cooped up, and so sometimes it's nice to go on top of the ship on a nice summer breeze day and just like meditate and do some yoga there. So let me know if you're interested. I'm always trying to teach new classes. So that like you get on the ship and you meet all these characters, and you're like, this is like a very weird not weird, but like a random group of people, but they seem like a family currently, and they're just having you guys complete these tasks. So you guys get more money from Alingteria. Alingteria gives you guys another like 40 gold pieces, and she's like, "Okay, so you have to go to the market. You also have to get the gunpowder, and we'll send you on your way. We're leaving tomorrow, so if there's anything else you'd like to do after you do the errand, you go ahead and do that. But just make sure you're here tomorrow before 10 a.m. though. And let me introduce you to your rooms over here, or not rooms, but for now we just have these hammocks. They're pretty comfortable though. So she shows you where your hammocks are, your little like chests where you can keep your stuff for the moment. If there's anything you want to deposit, there's also larger like wooden cabinet places where you can, if you want to store your bow or some weapons or armor, you guys have that, and it's kind of all in the middle of this berthing area. In the middle of the berthing area, there's just like all these stand-up lockers for you guys to put your stuff if you so choose. So, but those are all your things. We'll get you out of here. So, she gathers you up, and you guys go to the pier. And you guys are about to. She's about to let you guys go off. What would you guys like to do from this point forward?
Well, I'd say that the sooner we find what's his name, Richie, for the gunpowder, or maybe we should get the food first. Which do you think will be heavier?
I think the gunpowder will be
gunpowder is heavier than food.
Food it is then. And I'll turn to the boat mama.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm still a little new to Agerstein. Where can we go to get the food?
Yes, there's a quite delicious market. That's only about a 15-minute walk from here. You're basically going to go get off the ship. You're going to take a left, and you keep going until obviously you see a whole bunch of food, and they also have some good street food there. That's one of my favorite places to go. So that you'll see it. You'll just go left, and you'll get there.
All right,
And
sounds
then,
perfect.
do you need the gunpowder place?
Oh,
Uh,
yes, please, please.
Yes, that would be
Okay.
helpful.
That one you have to go to the. You have to get some sort of uh, slip from the dockmaster. You get the slip kind of written off, and then you go to Ricky, and Ricky will give you the gunpowder, and then you just bring that back here.
All
So,
right, perfect.
and if anyone messes with you, you let your boat mama know.
Will do.
Okay.
Alright.
So you guys get off the ship, and then are you guys making your way towards the food market?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys go to the food market, and you see all of this street food kind of happening. They have stuff with like sausage. They have stuff with other kind of like street vendor fruits of all different kinds. It's like stuff you shouldn't see in a very northern continent, but it seems like since this place has now become the hub of a place of like all this awesome food and all this awesome great culture, they've kind of adapted some things, and so it's bustling about. You basically just see shop after shop, small shop after shop of just places where you can get fruits, vegetables. You also see places where you can get. There's like a butcher shop that's more inside of a building, and you can get all those things that you need from there.
Well, all right. Where should we start?
I do not have any preferences, so it is your choice.
Well, he said salted meat and fruit. Can I like?
I'll take the salted meat.
You'll
I
take the
will
salted meat.
help with the fruit.
All right. Let's find us some fruit.
Okay. So you guys go ahead and make investigation checks.
Oh boy.
Everyone who's gonna go find these things.
I will help with the investigation, but I would
Are
ask
you
to roll.
kidding me? We are just rolling terribly tonight.
I will also
Oh,
do an
man.
investigation roll, if you do
Oh,
not
yep,
mind.
yep. I will do that for
Okay.
you. Yeah, you guys are not rolling hot
Oh,
tonight.
Don't worry.
See-
We're fine. It's all
Oh.
fine.
So you guys kind of go into this. You guys see all these like awesome fruit vendors and things, and you guys kind of get like sidetracked, and eventually you guys find yourself in a little alley, a little bit out of the way, and there's like cheaper fruit there and cheaper like vegetables, and you're like, this is okay. There's too much hustle and bustle in the front parts. There's too many people that's crowding, and I can't get in. So you're essentially just kind of going to the place where it's easier to get stuff at cheaper, and there's also less people in the way, so you guys are able to get over there and kind of get some of the items that you need. Go ahead and someone can make a charisma check just to see if you guys can haggle, maybe get some better things, even though you made your way to a place that might not have some good food for the ship.
Working with what we got, I would love to make a charisma. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
I'm not even
That
going to
is
try.
A 6.
Okay.
A 6.
So
A 6.
you got a 6. He basically is like this person in front of you just says, "Yeah, we got some cheap fruits. We got some good stuff. Let me get you my better stuff." He kind of like grabs like 2 crates and like hands it over to you. Inside the crate, you see like kind of a mixture of different sort of fruits, mushrooms, vegetables, carrots, just and legumes and yeah, just things that can kind of get you guys going for the first part of your voyage. So you're able to grab those things. I think Jade, you'll be able to easily grab these items with how strong you
yes.
normally are. So you then pick those things up.
I pick all of the crates up very easily.
Okay, and then Isabel, you actually find it's not too hard to find the place that you were going to get the items that you requested. So you guys are able to get that stuff easily enough and come back to the ship. Essentially, you see Jamero. He sees you guys coming up, and he already has like these barrels. He's putting it in front of you guys for you guys to drop all this. Some of the meat stuff off and some of the vegetable stuff off and transferring to make it more ship ready. He's like, good job. Just go ahead and go out there and get the black powder, and you guys should be good for the day. It'll be a good first day on the job. We appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Perfect.
And do
All
we
of
have
the
to get a
gunpowder?
paper for the black powder?
Yeah, so you gotta go to the dock master. Dock master sign you off. Dock master signs you
Right.
off. You go ahead and get that.
Right. Let us see the dockmaster then.
Okay. So you guys make your way to a bigger building, and you see people of higher distinguished stature kind of exit the building, enter the building, and it seems like a place where like a lot of ship and port commerce happens. You guys are able to kind of move your way through and come in, and you see kind of like a older man who's just been working his butt off all day. He's like stamping one thing, passing it to another guy, stamping another thing, passing it to another person. Another lady comes. She has like 3 documents. He's like stamping all of those things. It's happening super fast. He's signing it off, but you just see like sweat in his glasses, and he's just like wiping it off, and he's like adjusting, and he just keeps writing these things. You guys come up, and what would you guys like to do?
Pardon me, Dockmaster. We're here for a slip to get some black powder from a man named Richie.
Who are you
Richie?
guys with? What ship are you? What ship are you guys with?
The jumper.
Okay, yeah, the jumper. And he like goes and grabs the stamp, and he's like, and yep, you've got the right man. My name's Ricky, and I've been working. And he like kind of like drones on a bit for some reason. Like he stopped to like take a break to like talk to you guys, and after a while he like stamps your thing, and his hand slowly like signs the thing and passes it off to you guys.
Thank you.
So you guys grab the slip. You guys are able to go to where you need to go for the black powder. It's easy enough to find. You guys grab that. I believe Jade, you'll be able to pick it up, and then
I would like to pick it up.
How many barrels
Oh.
are we getting?
You see the man in front of you who you're getting the black powder from. He says, "Oh, you're just getting like 3 more barrels. Apparently, Latrell didn't get all the whole order that he needed." So,
All right. Well, then I'm going to pick up one and carry it over my shoulder. Just casual flex.
I would
Take
like
another.
to-
Tuck it under one arm. Could you get the last one?
I'll get the last barrel.
Thank you.
oh, sweet. And Silver and Hawk, thanks for the Twitch Prime. We appreciate that. See you guys. We got a Prime, guys. So we have you guys. You guys are gonna go back to the ship and basically bring all the gunpowder stuff with you. Make your way back
Yep.
over.
I will lead the way.
Sweet. You see Allingtarian just like, oh, you guys did such a good job. Yeah, I mean that's what we have for you tonight. You guys should just sleep here on the ship. We're going to have some more other people show up tomorrow. They're going to be here with us, so that we'll take off with them. I'm very excited to have you aboard. Is there anything else we can do for you?
I don't think so.
Okay, so she. Oh, go ahead, Lindsay. You have something?
I was wanting to ask her, do you know where the best place to get a drink in this town is?
Yes. Let me go ask Ralnor real quick, and I'll let you know. So she kind of like walks off for a second to go talk to Ralnor.
Lauren, I don't know about
She
you other two, but I have not had enough to drink.
Drink
You read my
water?
mind, actually. I was thinking of. No.
What do you drink?
Whatever's in my cup, I guess.
I like
Oh.
fire whiskey, personally.
Fire whiskey. Is that an
You ever
alcohol
had
that they
fire
light on
whiskey?
fire?
No, why do
No.
they name it that if they don't light it on fire?
Well, I'll tell you what, you will feel like you are lit on fire after you drink it.
Why would anyone drink that?
Because you feel like you're lit on fire after you drink it.
That sounds very painful.
I promise
fun.
it's not. It's wonderful.
Oh, I will take your word for it then.
Okay, so Aling comes back and she's like, okay, Ralnor, he suggests the Blood and Gold bar. He says that's a very good bar. He said don't mind the name, but that's it's an okay bar. It's just that's what the owner has called it, the Blood and Gold, and that's where all the settlers like to go, and it's a fun place to go.
Sounds like it has a history to it.
Yes, he said that this is one of the oldest bars here in Egerstein, and now it's kind of changed a bit, but I think for the better.
Then we should go and see it.
Okay, so you guys walk on over. It takes you about 20-30 minutes, and when you get there, the bar's kind of like already, there's kind of people kind of there. They're all having a good time. You kind of hear bards kind of playing a couple of tunes. It's a pretty lively bar, and you're having to make your way through this like super busy bar at the moment. What would you guys like to do there?
I would like to try to point out in the crowd the owner, whoever's running the bar.
Yeah. You see there's an older gentleman there, and he's kind of just polishing off a couple of glasses. He's also like putting things away. He's trying to like get all these orders and go super fast and help everyone out. You finally flag him down. He's like, "What are you having?"
Oh, well, I think the more important question is, what are you having? Are you in need of entertainment tonight?
Yeah, sure. I mean that. I don't know what to do with all that. Are you hitting on me? What's going on here?
Oh, no, sorry. Let me clarify. I'm an entertainer. I juggle
okay.
strongman acts. I got little Nikolai on my shoulder right here, and I'm just offering my services in exchange for a few drinks.
Yeah. So we can, if you'd like, you can put on a show for us. You can get a couple free drinks in the process. People do that quite a bit. There's a stage right there. It's unoccupied, and you can go ahead and go up there. But if someone kicks you off, you can either stay or stand your ground, or you can have them play. It doesn't that stage, anything almost goes. So go have some fun. If I get more customers, we'll let you some free drinks.
All right. Sounds
And
more
welcome
than
to
fair.
Blood and
And
Gold.
what was your name again?
My name is Jerome.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I believe that stage is calling me, so if you do not mind. And then she's going to go to the stage and take out her 2 hand axes, which look like a bit more like decorative than like actual like weapons for killing. And she's just gonna start juggling.
Okay.
Yep.
So you go ahead and
da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
go ahead and make a performance check, please, for us.
Cool. Dice.
Please have it be a high roll.
Well, please have
Yeah,
mercy
while
on
she's
me,
doing
guys.
that. Oh.
That is a hold on. No. Hold on.
What were you saying, Isabel? Go ahead.
14.
Is there anything like a dartboard or anything in the bar area?
Yeah, they have one that's basically, if you're looking at the stage and you turn around from the stage, you basically see one that's on a pillar, like a wooden pillar that's right there. It doesn't seem that all safe, especially with like people crowded. But there's two people, a lady and a man, basically like just playing darts and essentially just hitting the dartboard. The lady's actually doing a little bit better than the guy at the moment, and the guy just seems frustrated and he's like slamming another drink and trying to hit the next shot. And you said you had a 14 on your...
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a 14, you get up on stage and you start doing some sort of stylish things with the axes, and people don't really know what you're doing. You're not like quite juggling them yet. And you toss one behind your back and catch it. You toss the other one right behind your back and you catch it. And you're kind of like warming up, and you see maybe like 3 ladies and 5 guys kind of like stop what they were like all talking and like kind of socializing amongst themselves, and they kind of like stop and they all slowly turn over and start like taking seats in front of you as you start warming up and start juggling a little bit more, and you start to juggle these axes in more eccentric ways, and it kind of entrances the crowd. Go ahead and make another performance check for me.
That would be a 10.
Okay, so
Solid 10.
so you drop one axe and it kind of hits the ground, but then it hits the ground and it hits the stage, and it basically just cuts in and stays right there. Go ahead and make a quick dexterity check real quick for me.
Oh no. Okay, 13.
Yeah, so you're able to kind of put your foot and ankle underneath the handle of it and kick it back up and grab the axe and keep going, almost like it was part of the trick the whole time.
All a part of the
Isabel.
act.
And they start clapping. They throw you see like about 6 silver get thrown at you, another gold piece gets thrown at you, another like 4 copper pieces. So go ahead and tally all that up, and that's basically what you got from all the money that they tossed at you. And you see like someone come with a drink, and they say, Jerome wanted me to give this to you. And he sets it like on a table right next to the stage, and there's like basically a full beer that's right there ready for you. Isabel, what would you like to do? You were mentioning something.
Isabel, yeah, Isabel's gonna go up and try her hand at dart. She's gonna offer to take the guy's place.
Okay, so you go ahead and ask if you can go ahead and take the man's place. Go ahead and make a persuasion check real quick.
Ooh, persuasion. 8.
Okay. He's like, hey, one more. Let me get one more. You're next. But let me get one more. So he's kind of like spilling some beer on himself, kind of loosely around. The girl kind of seems fed up with him, and basically wants you to kind of, take over. But you haven't like convinced the guy yet to kind of like scram for a second. We'll get back to that. Jade, what would you like to do when you're in this tavern?
At first, I am watching Zelrora's performance, just kind of, sort of a blank expression, but mostly impressed, just doesn't really show it. Then
Okay.
she's going to turn to the bar, and whoever is behind it, she's going to wait for them and say, my friends told me there is something called fire whiskey that I should try. Do you have some?
Yeah, we definitely got some fire whiskey if this ain't, the blood and gold. So, how much shots do you want? You seem like a bigger. I don't think one shot will do it. I think you need a couple.
Shot is how big?
It's about like that big, and you're about.
Then I
this
will take
big.
several.
Yeah, okay, we can do that for you. Don't worry about it. Your friend already paid for your drink. She's doing a good job out there. And he like lines up 3 shots and
thank you.
another glass, and he kind of starts pouring them. He's like, "One's for me. Welcome to the blood and gold." And he goes ahead and cheers you, and he takes a drink. Go ahead and make a
Pick one up and
Constitution
give a
saving
little. Okay,
Yeah.
let me check what my modifier is. Okay, I have a +4.
Okay, so +4,
Um,
and let me roll that for you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so you got a
Oh,
22.
sweet.
Yeah, you slam all these things down, and you swear like this is one of the other times you kind of feel a little bit more alive since you left the Shadowfell. You kind of like, oh, that's a feeling. Like I kind of like that.
I like this feeling. It's very warm.
He's like, yeah, there's more where that came from if you'd like some more.
I think I would.
Isabel.
I would like some more.
All right, so he starts pouring you like another 3 for you, and another one for him, while he's like busy like maintaining this bar. Isabel, what'd you like to do? You're still there with the lady and the man.
Isabel's just gonna wait patiently. She's not going
Okay.
anywhere. She's waiting for
All
her
right.
turn.
So after 5 minutes, he like goes and throws a dart and hits like a dude, like that's off to the left, like basically just whiffs it and trips. And this guy's like, "Hey, what the fuck's the idea here, man?" And he's just like, "Hey."
Isabel
you
just
got-"
waits.
He's like, "Hey, first of all, you probably shouldn't be standing behind this dartboard. And second of all, I don't care." And he's like, so this other man basically. Let me do this roll real quick. Okay, so you see this other man basically. He basically rolled a 3, so he tries to go ahead and punch this guy right in front of him. The drunk guy, and the drunk guy stumbles and is able to like move away from the hit that was about to hit him. But as that happens, the girl kind of gets punched in the shoulder, from the guy that she was playing with. So she gets punched in the shoulder because the guy dodged out of the way. So now you just see her, and she's kind of like tripping back a little bit on her chair, and she's just like shocked at what's happening right in front of her. She's like looking at you like, "Please get me the hell out of here."
Isabel is just going to drape her arm over the girl's shoulder and ease her over to the bar.
Okay, so you're able to ease her away from the situation in the bar, and then you just see this fight kind of erupt between these two guys at the moment. Everyone's kind of giving them the room, and people are just busy doing their thing. It seems like fights in this bar are pretty normal, and she's just kind of thankful that you got her away from the situation. Let's see. Sorora, what else would you like to do on the stage?
Well, as soon as I see the fight break out, I'm going to try to end my juggling with a flourish and put the hand axes away, and I want to join that fight.
Okay.
I just want to throw myself into it.
Okay. Now we get to, let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and use this encounter thing.
Rules for bar fight.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Step 1, bar. Step 2, fight.
Step 3, question mark. Step 4, profit.
A bit.
Let's see here. Oh, not that one. Not this one. That one? That's the party sheet. Combat tracker. There we go. Alrighty. So let's see here. We have that, and then we have PCs, and we have Isabel. We'll drag you there, and we have, and then we'll have Aurora there. Let's see. Let me blow this up, and we have Aurora here, and then I was not ready for a bar fight today.
You always have to be ready for a bar fight. Come on.
I mean, alrighty. Let's see. Oh. Here we go. We'll get this set up here real quick, guys. Guide, as map pirates, artwork, backgrounds, fantastic maps. Maps, there we are. Doop. No, not that one. Not that one either. That one. I should have been ready for a bar fight. That is the adventurous thing all the time. Let's see. What if we have like a blank? We'll just do a blank one. There's the C there, but we'll just do this blank guy. Alrighty. And then we have this. Let me delete that. Let me delete this. Let me delete all that thing. And let's see here. Alright. There we are. And then encounters. There we are. Okay. So, do I need to make the roll for you? Over here. Do I need to make the roll for you, Alexei?
Sorry, what?
We're gonna make initiative rolls here. If you guys decide to get inside.
I wasn't aware I was going to take part in this, but okay. Yes.
Well, just in case. All right.
I have +2 to initiative.
Alrighty. So Lindsay, and then we're gonna have Pepper. Both of you guys are gonna make your initiative rolls, and I'll roll this in here. So I gotta do a +2 and do this, and we have a 15. So 15.
What is with me in the
Ooh,
fives
19.
All right. You have a 19, and then Aurora,
tonight? 5.
you have a 5.
5. I got the spirit. I'm just a little confused.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, the person that you're getting in a fight with kind of he takes a minute to recognize you, and he's just like, wait a minute. Let me make an insight check. Let's see if he makes this insight check. Okay. Got pull up Bandit Captain. Hello, what are your thoughts? There we are. And then we will grab the investigation, which is that one. No, that's literally just a 14. I don't need that. Oh, it's a +2. There we are. Okay, so he kind of looks at you, and you seem maybe somewhat familiar to him, but he doesn't really understand, maybe where he has seen you before. And he seems to be quite drunk himself. And let's see here. Encounters. No, it's always this one. That's the one. So Isabel's going first. So anyway, he kind of gets looking at you in a certain way, and his buddy is right next to him, and his hand's on the buddy's hand is on that guy's shoulder. And he basically is looking at the person that's looking at you and looking back at you, essentially. And he will, I think it's this one as well. They all just looking at you funny, essentially. But Isabel, you see this happening, and is there anything you'd like to do? You're kind of first in the initiative currently. You see
For me,
bar fight busting out, and you see your friend getting into the fray after she was done with her act.
Isabel is gonna signal the bartender and ask the cute girl's name.
Okay, so you're gonna signal the bartender. You're gonna ask the girl's name. She's just like, yeah, my name's Paige. Thanks for getting me out of that. I don't know where that was gonna go.
Of course, no problem, Paige. So, what brings you the blood and gold?
I'm kind of a traveler. I was told that this is a sightseeing place that you have to go. It's one of Agerstein's oldest bars, so it's just, I'm away currently, and from my place there in Steel Beach in La Craggia, and it's basically kind of like I'm kind of done with ladies' school, and my parents just said that I can kind of go out and about and explore the world a little bit. So that's what brings me here.
Isabel's gonna Isabel's tail is gonna come up, and the tip of her tail is just gonna rest slightly on the small of Paige's back, and she's gonna spend the rest of her time flirting with Paige.
Okay, so you see Paige kind of go ahead and make a persuasion check here. We'll see if she's into the tail holding the small of your back.
Oh, are you kidding me?
She
That's a
kind of
six.
grabs your tail, and that's on her small of her back, and she's like, maybe just slow down and get me just a drink for a bit. Maybe we'll talk.
Ooh.
That's fair. And Isabel buys her a drink.
Okay. So you get her a drink. The next person here is up. So we will do this. Okay. So the person that you basically were going to get into a fight with there, Zalora, he stops, and he's going to go ahead and try and take a swing at you. Basically an unarmed attack. So he's just going to use his strength modifier here. So panic at, and we go to encounters. Less. Okay. And then he has stats. Bandit Captain. This. There we are. Okay. So he's just gonna do a straight roll here. And unarmed is just his strength. So do this and that. Do this. Okay, so he tries to just do an unarmed attack towards you, and he basically just whiffs, and he ends up punching that pillar that was right there where everyone else was, and he ends up hurting his hand, and he ends up taking. Let me get this down right here. He ends up taking like 3 points of damage, basically, just from hurting his own self. So his other buddy kind of sees what's happening. He's gonna see if his other buddy who's across the bar is gonna try and perceive what's happening currently. So we're going to have this guy see if he recognizes what's happening. So he has +0 to wisdom. Yeah, so this guy's gonna start making his way, pushing people. Like this one guy is in his way. He basically pushes that guy into his chair. He's kind of being an a-hole about it. He sees this other lady who's just talking to this another fellow. He pushes her out of the way and is making his way towards him. He's not on you yet, but he's going to be on you here soon. So that's what that guy is doing. This other guy is closer. So you have this the main guy who seems to be more jacked and who punched the pillar. His two friends are right next to him, and his other friend's coming towards him. The guy to his left is going to try and make a perception check here. So this is a +0 to wisdom. So all right. So he's going to try and perceive. He has a feeling that he knows you from Zamar, but he still doesn't understand. He doesn't get it. But he's going to try and make an unarmed strike against you as well, since you fought the guy that he's basically working for. And you see these guys, they all seem to carry themselves in the same type of way, and it concerns you a bit. This no one is rolling hot today, so let's see here. Basically, from all these guys like just having bad swings and hits towards you, I'll give your next hit advantage because everyone's just like everyone's whiffing. There's the bar fight's happening, people are getting pushed around, it's getting hot and heavy, they've all been drinking, and so they're all stumbling around. You haven't really had much to drink yet. So when we get to your turn, you're gonna have an advantage here. Let me go to pirate fight. There we are. So he ends up, and that guy ends up hitting himself for a point of damage. These guys all really suck. And then we'll get to we'll get to Jade. Jade, what would you like to do? Because it's your turn in initiative currently.
Have I even noticed this is happening? Because I'm like ready to do the next 3 shots.
Okay, go ahead and make another Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so that is a +4.
Okay, you have a +4. Let me roll that for you. Okay, so you have a 16.
Nice.
So essentially, you're just slamming these drinks down, and you're doing fine. You're like
Mhm.
keeping up with this bartender.
Yeah, it's
he's-
very warm, and I feel a little tingly, I think, but it's a good feeling.
Okay, he's going to start eyeing you in a sense, and he's gonna put like 2 gold onto the bar and basically try and go shot to shot with you. He's like,
Oh, wait.
you fancy yourself a drinker?
this-
I think I can do it better.
Wait, what is this for?
This is we're betting here to drink. Do you not know how to do this?
No, I know what betting is. And she digs around in like one of her little belt pouches and scoops out like 2 pieces of gold because she thinks she just has to match what's on the bar.
There it is. There it is. And
And she is completely oblivious to all of the chaos going on behind her. Just has
Perfect.
not even noticed. Because she
Okay,
is very
go make
focused
another-
on this happy,
Like
warm
Stan
drink.
Lee's cameo in the Spider-Man movie where Peter Parker's fighting the lizard.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Like, all
So
her
go ahead.
focus is on this.
Go ahead and make another Constitution saving throw since you're
Alright,
deciding.
it's another +4.
And then the barkeep will also try and match you here. His Constitution is not that high, so you got a 8. And the bartender,
Oof.
he rolled a natural 19. So
Ooh.
you end
Well,
up.
it all just hit me.
So like that shot kind of hits you, and like your mouth kind of goes numb for a second, and you try and like collect yourself, but like a little bit of liquor kind of like dribbles down your mouth because your mouth went numb and you're not used to this kind of feeling. He's like, there it is, and he like grabs your gold, and he basically takes the 2 gold that you put down. He's like, double or nothing, and he puts 4 down. We'll get back to your turn, and then now we go here to counters. There you are. Okay, Zalora, what would you like to do against this guy? That basically him and his friends are all swinging at you. They've all kind of missed the whole time. So you have advantage on your next attack. Go ahead and if you'd like to make some sort of attack towards them, go ahead and do that now.
Who is the biggest guy out of all of them?
The guy who that first hit the pillar, so that guy who got hit with the dart and essentially still has like a dart in his clavicle, and he's just
Ooh.
like looking at you mean mugging, trying to like attack you as failingly as him and his buddies are like shoving each other around to like come in and be like, who's the most macho dude there.
I am absolutely going for him.
Okay,
And I
so
just want to
go
just
ahead.
like
Yeah,
I
go
just
ahead.
wanna
What were you
just, like,
saying?
deck him across the face.
All right, go ahead and roll with advantage and try and deck him in the face.
2.
What was that there?
No. Okay, and that's. Oh my god. What am I adding?
All right, you're adding. I believe you're. It's gonna be just adding your strength modifier, unless you're proficient with unarmed attacks.
I do not believe I am, so that is a 9.
Even with advantage. Okay, so
Yes,
you end up
I rolled
stumbling.
a 6 and a 1.
Okay, so you end up stumbling over him and trying to punch his lights out, and you basically get pushed onto a bunch of his buddies, and so it's just like a whole cluster, and it's a classic bar fight where no one's like actually hitting each other, and you guys are just stumbling around. Isabel, you kind of see this, like you're kind of paying attention to the lady, and you kind of like turn around, and you just see Zorlora kind of just being rambunctious and in this tidal wave of dudes and just trying to like, they're all trying to like swing at each other, and it's just a hot mess. Like no one's connecting, no one's able to get a successful hit. Go ahead, Isabel, and make a perception check real quick for me, since you're looking back at them.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
21!
Nice.
So at this moment, you look towards the doors, because the doors are right past where all this hot mess of fighting is happening. And you guys see Dorothic and Jerome kind of come into the bar, and they see Aurora kind of flustering about with all these dudes, and she's just trying to fight her way through it. And Dorthic's, oh man, we gotta fight. Okay, all right, it's time to unleash the gloves. Let's go. I got this all day. It's just like how I used to. And like, you see, the other fellow, basically his orc buddy. He's like trying to hold him back, and Dorthic is just making his way, like moving people gently though, out of his way to make his way towards the fight. He's gonna be in there in a hot second. And then let's go to the fight. And Isabel, unless you are doing anything in the fight, if you're not, then you can make another roll to see if you can kind of persuade to get to know a little bit more about this lady, if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask her about her gap year and all that stuff. Trying to flirt with her. That's a 9.
She's warming up a bit. Like you give her a drink. She drinks a little bit, and she tells you about her gap year. She essentially just does fine calligraphy, fine writing. She tells you that she's off for a year to basically visit all the continents, do the big 6 or 7 continent kind of tour. She's getting to know all these new awesome people. That guy that she was just with was a huge jerk, and she's just kind of really thankful to be around you. So she's warming up, essentially. And then we'll get back to this huge fight that's happening.
Fight.
So that the bigger guy's actually going to try and take a swing towards you, Zilrora. So here we go here. No. Encounters. That one. I'm getting better at this.
I believe in
Alrighty. Thank you. Alright, here we are. So he's going to try and do this other swing towards you. Okay, 11. What's your AC?
16.
16. Okay, so he manages to like get a punch in, but as he does it, you kind of deflect it with your shoulder. Like you just take this hard hit to your shoulder and it does no damage to you. And he's like kind of smiling to himself, like he's finally hit. Someone's finally connected in battle, but it actually wasn't enough. The 3 friends are all going to start trying to take swings at you, so they're all going to go now. That would be a straight 7 for one of them. Another straight 10 for one of them. Not that +2. And that would be a straight 14. So still just, all these people are just missing. And you see Dorthic just making his movement towards him and like getting really excited and like riled up. It is now your turn. What would you like to do?
I would just like to trade blows with the guy who landed something on my armor. So I'd just
Okay.
like to go for it again. I'm going for a gut punch. I'm going for
Alright.
for an uppercut.
Go ahead.
Please.
Nope.
Man.
Oh my god.
It's a guy.
This is a bad roll
Can't.
tonight.
It doesn't
That's
get
all
better
right.
than this.
We're
It
getting them
doesn't get
all the
better
way.
than
So the
this.
second episode, we're just rolling hot. You know, it's the
Yeah.
first
We're
episode
getting all the
0.
bad
You
rolls
know,
out now.
0 episode 0 hits. You know, 0. It's all great. 0 charisma checks. It's all good. So, you guys, you're like doing these swings towards the main guy, and one of the other 3 guys who's stumbling around, they basically like trip among themselves and they shoulder into you, like going backwards, and you kind of like take this impact. It kind of knocks the air out of you. You're like, oof, and he's like, hey, I was fighting you, and he's just trying to like turn around to go and face you, and then you see Dorothy like stomping over, like he's finally there, and you see him like grabbing one of the guys and attempting to pick him up. He's gonna go ahead and make a roll real quick, and we'll say that he's flanking you, so he gets advantage.
Nice.
Oof. He goes to pick up another
wow.
guy, and his friend just keeps him down. Like, so he picks up one guy, the other guy who's like fallen over, like grabs this guy right by the pants so he doesn't go anywhere. So Dorothy's like halfway up into pulling him up, and his friend tries to grab his pants to keep him from going up, and he basically semi-pants him, like as he's going up. So now we just have like 3 of you fighting, one of the big guys like stumbling around, and you have Dorothy like picking a guy who's like, I got him, look at him, he's so done, and he's like picking him up, and his pants are like kind of off at the moment. This is like the hottest mess of fight ever.
I love it. It's D&D.
Yeah. So
D&D.
after a while, you see, what's his name? You see Jamero come up, and he's like, hey, you guys, the guards are coming. We gotta stop doing this. We gotta scram. And you say these words, and Dorothy lets the guy down. That guy like tries to like be cool about it and shimmy his pants up, like nothing ever happened. He's just like trying to shimmy himself up, and you see all 3 of these guys like start to storm out the bar. The other guy's like, this is not the last time I'll see of you. I swear I know where you're from. And he kind of like runs out, and you don't make an insight check to see if you can tell what he's talking about here.
Insight check.
Mhm.
That is a 9.
Okay, so 9. So what happens there is you don't know whether his threat is empty or not, but you're just kind of happy that Jamero and Dorothy is here. And Jamero's like, that works every time, I swear. Sometimes you just gotta scare them away. Why are you already fighting people? If this is your first time with this company, you're already doing bar fights. You want to be kicked out already?
I mean, how else am I supposed to make friends? You punch them in the
You could
face,
buy
they're your
people
friends
drinks. You could buy people drinks, and I could do that for you real quick. So let's just everyone settle down. Everyone calm down. And Dorothy's like, that was the best fight ever. You see me? I picked that guy up. He was so scared his pants were coming down. He was ready to wet his pants. I felt something wet. I don't think it was a bear. I felt something wet. I picked him up. You should have saw his eyes. His eyes blew up. I was about to slap him on my knee. He knew it was coming. So, Jamero and Dorothy basically escort you to the bar, and you see Jamero look at you, Isabel, and he kind of like does a head nod, like respect, in a way, and he pays the bartender a couple more drinks over to get you and that lady more drinks, and he sits there with his drinks, kind of like looking over at Aurora, and he's just like, why you can't be like, this is your first port, like maybe the second port you can like go ahead and do some fights and at least bring us next time. Like, I need to look out for you guys. Like, you guys are important.
I'm trying to keep a good ship, a tight family, and you're already fighting without us. So let's just chill on that for this first port. This is our home port, so you gotta calm down.
And then you see Dorthic, Jade. Dorthic like makes him sway over to you, and he's like, "Okay, are we doing shots? Is this what's happening?" He sees the gold there. He's like, "Are we doing the shot for shot? I could do shot for shots."
Well,
Oh
the
dear.
last one made my mouth feel very funny, so I think
That's
he might
what's
be
supposed
cheating.
to
I think that one was poisoned.
I know that's
Made
not
my
how
tongue
that
go
works.
numb.
Give me whatever you guys were doing. Give me whatever that was. Let's go ahead and do this. I'll pay for both of us. And you see Dorthic like you can tell that go ahead and make an investigation check real quick, Jade.
Okay, that is a +2.
+2. Okay, so you
Wow.
this is just the theme of the night. It's just low rolls.
Wow.
We're just getting them all out. Just get them all out of the way, guys. Like all out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So you get you see the coins being dropped down, and you basically can't tell the difference of if this was new gold that Isabel got earlier or his own personal stash, but he puts like 16 gold onto the table because we're going double or nothing. So he does 8 and 8 to match you, and the bartender does 16 also to match you guys. So they kind of like doubled or nothing. So they have the drinks out there,
That's a lot.
and the bartender pours 3 shots for all of you guys. So now you guys are like matching 3 shots for 3 shots.
So one shot
Go
each,
ahead
and
and
I'll
make a
pick it up and
concentration check.
kind of make like a little cheering motion, like she's trying really hard. And then Constitution is +4.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, I'll roll that for you. All right, 23. So you you see the bartender kind of take his shot. He kind of like coughs a little, and you see some of the fire water kind of shoot out of his nose. He's like, and you just see like some dribbles come out of his nose, and you see Dorthic also drink his drink quite well. And so you guys collect this gold, and he's like,
All right, we gotta go while the getting's good. Let's get back on the ship. Let's all just get
Okay.
ready for the next day.
Okay.
You guys, you good? You good? This is not.
But before she leaves with him, she grabs a napkin and just kind of blots at the bartender's nose, like, you got a little something there. All right, thank you for the gold.
he like kind of touches his nose, and he smiles a little bit. He like acknowledges that you did something quite nice for him, and he appreciates it. You can tell that he appreciated you. And you're a little bit drunk, so you don't know if he's maybe like into you or not.
Nope.
But
No idea.
yep,
Even if I
so-
was stone cold sober, would have no idea.
Okay, Isabel, you guys are about to leave the bar for the night. Go ahead and make another either charisma, a performance, a persuasion, if with Paige to see if anything goes with that.
All right, let's try persuasion again. Natural
Hey.
20!
Yes!
There it is.
Yes!
The gay came
So you kinda-
through.
You kind of talk
The
about
gay
the,
wins.
You talk about the ship and like you're about to go on an adventure for the first time with this shipping company, and she buys into the idea. She's had a couple drinks with the assistance of Jamero, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I've never kind of been with a sailor, and being, is it scary work? Is it going to be scary, or is it? It sounds so amazing. It sounds like a lot of fun. Like, when do you guys head off?
We head off tomorrow morning.
Oh, I'd like to see you again. Is there a way that I can? Do you ladies know where you guys are going next? Or when you'll be back in town?
No, No idea when we'll be back in town. No idea where we're going next.
Okay. Well, let me. And she like checks her stuff real quick, and she gives you some sort of a little pendant, and it has like a scroll, like a little scroll on it, and it has a little bit of like a coin that has a scroll on it with little etchings and marks there. And she's like, just let me know when you're back in town with this, and we'll link up then.
Isabel, she makes a point of putting the necklace on, like she has to guide it over her horns.
Mm-hmm.
And she takes a moment and she kisses the back of Paige's hand and says, "Thank you very much."
Paige curtsies like a proper lady, in a sense, a drunken like curtsy. So, and she's like, if you kind of flick that coin 3 times, my pendant will kind of like vibrate, and I'll know that you're here. So, I guess I'll meet you here next time.
Yeah, sounds like a wonderful plan.
All right. Well, have a safe journey then.
And
Could I possibly? Paige is going to. Isabel's going to try to lean in for a cheek kiss.
okay, go ahead and make a performance check for me real quick with advantage because you had the 20. So we'll see what.
Oh,
Okay.
this is 17. Thank God.
So we're getting some good rolls. The good rolls happen when romance happens, but all the other rolls so far.
The good
I guess
old
when it
happens
counts,
when
right?
it happens.
So
D&D says gay rights.
hey, I wish I could get that shirt, but like I can't get that shirt. So, you know the D&D, the ampersand with like the rainbow, the pride
With
one?
the rainbow.
Yeah.
Yep.
One day I'll get that. But essentially, you lean in for a kiss on the cheek, and she kind of like she turns into it, and you guys like have a nice makeout session for like a minute, and then
Okay.
she kind of like drunkenly pushes you away, like a silly, playful push away, and yeah, she like turns around and like heads into the crowd and basically allows you to kind of like leave. And so Dorothic and Jamera kind of like they're both like leaning on each other and they're like looking at you and they're like nodding and then you see Dorothic kind of pass money over to Jamero at that moment. Like go ahead and,
I love
and
it.
you know that it was basically Dorothic like lost the bet essentially. They're like
Dorot's like, let's get you home. I can't believe I lost more. I gained money, I lost money. It was a good night. Oh no. All right, let's get you guys back on the ship so that we can get a good night's rest before, we head out.
So he collects you 3 basically. You guys head on back to the ship, and so go ahead and who is the most sober out of all 3 of you so far?
I think that would probably be me because I technically haven't had anything to drink.
Yeah, Isabel's had a few
I was-
drinks and
Yeah, I was offered a. bit
Jade
of
was
it.
getting shit faced.
Okay, go ahead and
It's
make
gone.
a perception check for me.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Classic.
Oh,
We're off to a great stream, guys. We're off to a wonderful, amazing stream.
This
So
is it. I gotta retire. I gotta go. I'm sorry. I have to go.
we're the first streams that rolling low. So we're Jamero and Dorothic basically get you guys back to the ship, and you see the boat mama basically waiting for you guys as you guys get back on the ship, and she's like, "Where did you guys go? You guys went through the blood and gold, right? Did you guys have fun? Did you have a good time there?
yes, we
I
did.
didn't get to punch anyone.
Why are you punching people already, huh?
That's how you make friends where I'm from. You punch someone, they punch you, you get along, everything's great.
I don't understand. Where are you from? Where are you from? Where do they punch people? I don't want to go to that place.
Ah, well, originally Ash Quarry, but, you know, I've traveled around a lot.
Okay, I never heard of Ash Quarry, but I'll make sure to stay away because I don't like. I'm, you know, I'm small. I don't want to get punched. And
The punching is the best part of Ash Quarry.
okay, well, if I ever have to do a good punching, I guess I'll go to Allen Quarry. So, she basically takes you guys to go back to your bunks, essentially. Um, is there anything you guys would like to do before you guys go to sleep for the night?
Isabel is actually going to take a moment to compliment Jade on the feat of strength earlier, lifting the gunpowder. She was impressed by that.
You're muted, I think.
You muted, darling.
Heck. There we go. Jade just goes, thank you. I don't think they were very heavy. But they were easy to carry.
I couldn't have done it. It was impressive to watch.
Oh, thank you. That impressive is good. Yes.
Impressive is good.
Oh, okay. And Jade is just gonna kind of smile and stumble to her hammock.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure that she gets there okay.
Okay, so you slightly assist.
Hello,
her.
smaller friend.
Come on, darling, let's get you to bed. You've had a interesting night.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Very. I made friends. We exchanged gold.
You also hear Dorothic kind of go downstairs, and Jamero kind of go downstairs, and they smell even more like alcohol this time. Someone go ahead and make a insight check. I think Zalora, you can make it because you're still the most sober out of everyone.
Please, oh please. Okay, 17.
Okay, so it definitely smells different from the drinks that you guys had at the bar. You think they may have like gone into like some secret reserve that they've had personally, and currently no one else is on the ship. You guys are kind of like the new pirates on the ship, or not pirates, but newer like private contractor sailors on the ship. So it's basically just Dorothic and Jamero, and then you three are there sleeping the night, and they both kind of like laugh at each other and stumble, and you only really see you don't really see Jamero from the times you interacted with him today, that he's been very like interactive. Only when he's around Dorothic and they're kind of alone, that they're a little bit more interactive, and he lets go of some of his professionalism. They all stumble to themselves to the cot, and they like kind of both pass out immediately. Isabel, what would you like to do? I know that you still have your Ligris with you. She's kind of been around, and what would you like to do before you bed down? Is there anything?
Yeah, Isabel is going to use thaumaturgy, and
Okay.
she is going to make the sound of mice being under the floorboards, so that Sasha will chase it like a cat with a laser.
Okay. So you just see this
Just-
big Ligris stumbling around the ship. You hear a couple things like knocking over on like different parts of the ship. Like Sasha's going around and running and trying to go for this fake mouse. Go ahead and make a survival check, because you have stats for Sasha, right?
Oh, I do. Oh my gosh. I completely forgot. Wow.
Your pet has stats, or your
Yeah, I completely forgot the pet has stats.
pets do.
Okay.
For you, they have stats.
That's a 9.
Okay. After maybe 30 minutes, she comes back like exhausted, and you see like the couple's like mangled flesh stuff like hanging off her face, and you can tell, and she's exhausted. She like plops down right next to you, and she's like she spits out whatever was in her mouth, and she starts like playing with it and like scooting it around and like moving it, and it looks like she actually found a mouse in the process, like between chasing a fake mouse at some point. And she basically just like lays right next to you, exhausted and just still playing around with this dead mouse.
Isabel she's gonna pick up the dead mouse and head to the cabin.
Okay. So you head over to the cabin. Let's see here. So if there's anything else you guys would like to do, you guys can go ahead and sleep for the night, or if someone wants to stay and watch, whichever you guys would like to do.
Jade is gonna pass the fuck out.
Okay.
I was gonna make sure that
Yeah.
everybody's tucked in
Okay.
Yeah,
They have
Isabel
water.
will take first watch.
next to their hammocks.
Okay, so you take first watch. There's several parts of the ship that you can kind of like maybe do a lookout. You can do it on the aft part of the ship, which is a little bit more elevated than the. I think I have to get my naval terms back, but the front of the ship it's a little bit more elevated. The back part, and then you have the main mast, and you can kind of go to the bird's nest up there and stand watch there, or you can just be at the. What do you call this? The little plank that comes up from the port to the ship that basically
Gangplank?
allows people on board. The gangplank. I'm like losing all my Navy terms today, so I'm not even a sailor anymore. So you're standing right in front of. You can either stand
Isabel.
there. Or, go ahead.
Isabel's going right up to the bird's nest, the highest possible place.
Perfect. Awesome. So go ahead and make your perception check.
16?
Okay. 16. You see a couple of humanoid figures kind of walking the. You see a couple of human figures kind of walking back and forth through the pier, and it seems a little suspicious. Go ahead and make another insight check. And thank you, Alexa. It is
6.
your deck. I totally forgot. All right, it just seems like a kind of like a random group of people as you watch these people kind of like walk past the ship and make their way onto another ship you see far off into the distance. After about a couple hours, like 3 hours, 4 hours, your shift comes to an end, and you can go wake someone else up if you would like.
Yeah, she will.
Alrighty.
She doesn't know I don't know who she's waking, but she's waking somebody else up.
You can go ahead and make a roll. Like you can make odds Zelrora, and you can make evens Jade.
Okay. Actually, considering how drunk Jade was, Isabel's gonna go wake Zelrora.
Okay, so you go ahead and wake up Zelrora. Basically pass her all the information from your watch, and Zelrora, the same places are available for you. You could be at the quarterdeck, you can be at the aft of the ship, you can be in the front, or be on the bird's nest.
I would like to go to wherever I have the greatest view of, like the ocean, like the horizon.
Yeah, so that would be on the bird's nest.
Cool.
All right, perfect. So you
That's
go
where
up
I
to the
will
bird's nest. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Please. Nat 20!
Nice.
Hey.
So what happens? We're finally getting there, guys. We're getting there.
We're getting there. It's happening. It's happening for us.
So what happens is you basically see a couple figures, and you heard Isabel talking about that she saw like a group of 3 to 4 people walking back and forth from the port. They eventually made their way onto their own ship, and you see these people kind of look around. This one guy like look out and like call his buddy over from another vantage point. So this guy's kind of staying close to the ship. He thinks you don't see him, and he calls these other buddies over, and you see these 3 other guys kind of like start making their way over to where he is. And in front of the ship, I'll pull that up on the map right now. Map. There we are. And I think, I don't know whether or not you guys can see this map. Let me know if you guys see that map or not. So, do you guys see any map on the fantasy ground?
No.
I only see the moored pirate ship.
Yeah, that's the one, but you don't see anything on it?
No, I just see the Dean logo.
Nope.
Okay.
I see the ship, but I don't see anything on it other than ship things.
Oh, you do see the ship.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
In
All right.
maps and images.
Yep. That's it. And then,
Oh, okay.
yep.
I see what's
So-
happening here.
Basically, you see this first guy kind of stumble on board. You see him walking towards the quarterdeck, and he's making his way from that ship onto the quarterdeck, and he's like looking up straight at you.
Wait, the quarterdeck of our ship?
Yeah, because you're currently on top of the bird's nest at the moment. No.
And so he's standing on the quarterdeck and he's just like looking up at me.
Mm-hmm. And he's like pointing at you, and he's like, "Hey, get down here. I think
Perhaps
you're the
could you
one."
try that with a little more manners, sir?
No, you stole something that belonged to us.
What did I steal? I'll gladly return it.
Was it you or your friend? We left something out there on the buoy, and that was something that belonged to us. And you guys took that from me.
Something off the buoy. Oh, you mean the mail buoy?
There's no such thing as a mail buoy, sweetheart. I know what the hell you're talking about.
Well, obviously someone's out of the loop then. Alright, I tell you what.
And he's still down there.
gonna-
He's trying to talk with a big voice and like basically have his hands on his hip and like look at you and demand that you come down.
Okay. Alright, I tell you what. I'm gonna go ahead and stay up here, because I like it up here and it's very pretty. And you should come join me and we'll talk more about this thing that you think I stole.
So you're asking him to join you up there?
Yeah.
Okay, so he tells his guys, like, you see him motion back to his body, he's like, "Get up here. I'm gonna go talk to whoever this person is up there, get our stuff back." Like, "You got it, boss. Yeah, okay, yeah." And so you see him slowly make his way up onto the bird's nest up there. And I'll put these people on the map.
Yahoo, wow.
Here we are. And then here he is. And then we'll put this guy. Why are these so big? Oh, there we are. And then, do you guys see anything on the ship currently?
No.
That is nope.
Nope.
Now.
Just
Oh, there we
regular
go.
ship. Oh wait,
Oh, there we go.
there's a person.
It's happening. Things are happening.
That's not. So this is. These 3 guys are basically right over. Oh, that's the same dude. There we are. Visible. Always visible. This guy. We're learning as we go here. So,
Hooray!
all right. So these three guys show up right there. They're basically like blocking their way back onto the port, and so they're on the gang. They're like right in front of the gangplank on the quarterdeck, and one guy's like making his way up towards you. Let me get a map. So they're making their way towards you. Or that one guy, he's climbing up, and he finally gets up, and you see make an insight check currently as he makes his way, and this kind of area is super small, and it's probably raised about 30-40 feet from the main deck of the ship.
That is a 4.
Okay, so he kind of looks at you suspiciously, and he basically says, "Aren't you that lady from the bar that we got in a fight with?" And so, like, right then and there, he's gonna try and make a basically a sneak attack towards you, because you didn't see this coming, and you weren't able to like see that he was kind of making you out, and was basically gonna attack you. So he's gonna attack
That's
with
fair.
advantage.
That's fair.
Wow. So he rolled a 2, and the other one was a 1, so that's still super bad. Go ahead, actually, Zalrora, and make a athletics or acrobatics check really quick with advantage.
Okay. Athletics or acrobatics? That's not what I want.
Nice.
Okay, I will take that 18.
Okay,
And
so you
I
have 18.
will add 2.
And I
So
believe
20 total. 20
Awesome.
total acrobatics. Hardcore part.
so. You're able to kind of get out of his way and trip him up, and he like stumbles out of the bird's nest, and he's gonna basically take a whole bunch of falling damage. So
Ooh.
we will
Nice.
make it 1d6 for each 10 feet. We'll just do 4 because he failed super bad. So he's gonna fall to the ground and take 13 points of damage, and
Ooh.
his friends kind of like pick him up, and he's like, he's moaning, groaning. He's like, ah, and you hear a big thud, and he slams onto the ground, and he can barely breathe, and everyone's like, "What did you do to him? Hey, what's going on?" And they're basically like drawing like their weapons, and the boss is basically like on the ground. He's basically like stunned, and he's just trying to catch his breath at the same time. I need you to roll initiative, and then Jade, I want you to roll before we get into initiative, we're gonna have Jade, you roll a perception check with disadvantage, and then Isabel, you can just rake a straight
Okay.
perception check
Okay.
because you're not drunk as hell.
So, perception, I have a +3, but I leave it to you to roll for the disadvantage.
Oh, yep, that's perfect. So 18, and then we'll do your other roll here, and 13. So yeah, you hear this big thud basically right above you.
Just
what
a
do you
12, actually, but yeah.
think? Okay. And then let's see here.
So there's a thud above me.
Yep. You hear this huge thud, and like all these people kind of making noises, not voices that you're familiar with yet. Isabel, at the moment when you were sleeping on the hammock, at some point you rolled off, and then Sasha kind of like laid over you a bit, and so you didn't get to hear the big thud. So you're just kind of like sleeping, cuddled up, body pillow style, with Sasha, like kind of unaware what's happening, with Sasha's neck over your head, just kind of chilling.
Yeah, as a cat owner, that's very accurate.
Yeah, nailed it. I don't even have a cat, so. All right, so we need initiative. So did you? So go ahead, Jane, make initiative roll, and then you already made your.
Okay.
Oh, yep.
I have a +2 to initiative.
Okay. So 6 for initiative for you, and then
Yep.
I'll put that here on the encounters. So Aurora is, or not Aurora, but this is a 6. And then we'll have Zora. What did you get on your initiative roll?
17.
17. Nice.
Mhm.
And all these people will re-roll their things. 17. And then I'll roll for this guy. Pretty sure he is gonna get. He's stunned as hell. This guy's gonna roll next. That's going to be a. Oh, 16, 18, 19. Oh, there we are. Figure the things out. Okay, and then we have this last guy here. I'll just do this one right quick. That's perfect. So, and then Isabel, go ahead and let me think. We'll come back to you at the bottom of the round, and then you'll roll to see where you fall in initiative.
Okay, cool.
Isabel. All right, cool. So we have figuring out all these things, all these new fun things. Okay, so the first bandit is essentially going to make his way up towards you. It's going to take his full turn to basically get up to the bird's nest, and so he makes his way up there. He has to take like a dash action to get up, but he's up there with you, Aurora, and you see another guy behind him. They're all basically going to try and make their way stupidly onto the bird's nest because they're kind of drunk and they don't know any better. So the first bandit is up there with you. I should move that person up there. This guy's over here. Do you guys see all the tokens on there so far?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So we have bandit over there. He's currently stunned, and I think there's a way to put the stunned thing on a person. This one. Stunned on this guy. Hello? Can I make you stunned, please? We are. And we have.
Learn as you go.
Guy. Yeah. Bandit. Conditions. Oh, there it is. See, you watch a video and you learn things. Alright. So there. We'll do this. He's stunned. Alright, anyway. So we have that guy stunned, and then we have where we are here. Okay, Jade, it is your turn. You basically hear this big thud. You're probably about 20 feet away from the stairs that take you up to the main decks. And then maybe another, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're about 25 feet away after you get on the main deck. So it's going to be 45 feet of movement to get to
which is more than I have in a single turn, I believe.
Are you gonna? You can take a dash and you can get there.
I could take a dash, but I also just woke up with a bit of a headache, and things are still a little shaky.
Okay, so you'll get right on top of the main deck to see what's happening.
Get up. I'm gonna kind of stumble a little, get up to the deck, and just like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm. You see,
who made such a loud noise?
You see one person like groaning, like. You see one guy groaning in the middle of the ship, basically like losing his breath and trying to gain his breath, and you see Zalrora basically at the top of the bird's nest, and she's like looking down, weapon drawn, trying to fight off all these assailants, and you see one guy climbing his way up. You see another guy climbing his way up, and then this last guy is basically just about to go on top of the ladder to get his way up there. So, is that all you do for your turn?
I look at the guy who's gasping for breath on the ground, and I think if I were to dash to get close to that guy, I wouldn't actually be able to do anything after that, correct?
No, you would not.
That would be
unless
an
you have
action.
like a weapon that you can throw.
I mean, yes, I do. Let me see.
You can either throw it or just walk up to him and get ready for next turn.
Yeah,
But he has his back towards
I
you.
think-
He's basically trying to get up this ladder.
I think I'll get up towards him.
Okay, perfect. So you'll get up towards him. So we will put you over here, and then we also need you here, Zalrora. You're basically right on top of this bandit, but we'll put you here.
And for the record, Jade is barefoot and disheveled and has like her whip is on her hip, but she's in sleep pants, so she's just kind of out of it.
Okay. Awesome. So you're in sleep pants, you're out of it, you're kind of stumbling around. Whatever weapon do you have, like a greatsword, or
I have my whip.
you have your whip. Your whip's like trailing around, getting caught on things of the ship, and you're like kind of pulling it
Yeah.
and like trying to muscle it over to you with not a lot of grace, and whips require grace, so it's kind of a little bit worrying. You see this Aurora, you're like looking down and looking right at your enemy and looking down, you're like, oh god, this is the help I have right now. So Zora, it is now your turn. What would you like to do? There's now another man that basically got his way up there, another person from the bar who essentially, you figured out that Isabel stole this, like, whatever deal they made, this floating loot in the middle of this port that they took, and you know that these guys are pretty upset, and you already fought them once today.
Okay, so there's the two guys on the ladder. One of them's on the ladder, one of them's getting on the ladder. And then there's the guy who's up there with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is he still, like, on the ladder, or is he just, like, fully up? Like, right in my
He's
face?
basically, I'll put it this way. I'll make a strength check for him just to see if he can muscle his last little bit over. Otherwise, if he fails this, he's basically just going to be on a crouch position waiting to stand up, like right after coming through the bird's nest kind of area. So he's kind of like at this half crouch, and on your turn, it looks like he's about to pop up, and we'll see if he has enough strength to kind of pop up from that position. So we will make him do a roll here. This thing, that thing, that thing, your strength, that thing. Cool, got it. All right, so he rolled a 5. He's basically still at like a half crouch on his way to get up. So you just see him like, his head's almost a little bit down as he's like pushing himself up, and he's kind of in that crouched over position as he's getting up. What would you like to do?
I'd have both of my rapiers drawn.
Yeah,
And I'm just sort
absolutely.
of gesturing wildly, like, really, I just wanted to talk. I'm just here to make friends, and it's not my fault that your friend fell. He missed me, and then I'm gonna kick the guy
Okay.
who's trying to get up. I want to Spartan kick him back down the ladder.
Spark him down, kick him down the hole. Like there's a little hole right there, so you're
Yes.
just basically shoving him down the. It's basically like a Spartan stomp more than a Spartan kick. So
Yes.
go ahead and
absolutely.
make a strength check. Like add your strength modifier, because this is not, you're not proficient with unarmed attacks, as we figured out earlier. So
Okay.
go ahead and do that.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Hey!
Hey.
We're getting there. Now we're getting there. We're getting someplace, guys. Go ahead and I don't think you roll any damage. I think you just use your strength. So this guy's going to take at least some damage before he falls through. So this guy right here is going to take at least 2 points of damage, down to 16. Oh, nope, that's his initiative. We want health. Health. He's down to 9.
Hell.
Perfect. So he takes 9 points. He takes 2 points of damage just from the kick alone. As you shove him down this hole, his buddy is right there. He's gonna collide into his buddy. So we will roll 2 damage die, basically. That's a 2 and a 2. So he takes another 4 points of damage, down to 5. His buddy's gonna have to make a strength saving throw to see if he can stay on without having his buddy collide onto him and falling down as well with his buddy, because you're just chain hitting them down. Alexei, you see this happening, so you hear like Zoro just like, what are you doing? Why are you bothering me? And she like stomps him down. You see you go, "Whoa." And he's just like about to fall. He's falling down currently, and you see his friend just looking up and shrugging, like he's like hopeless in this moment. So this guy's gonna make a strength check real quick. 10. So unfortunately, not enough. Basically, he gets knocked off too, and they're stumbling with each other. The first guy who's been falling the whole time will take another. Oh God. Okay. So that guy is dead as hell. So this guy.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
do this.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you
You
basically
killed
killed
Bandit.
Oh fuck!
Delete this token. Okay, so
Oh no!
Just killed a bandit.
Oh god, what have I done?
this bandit. How do I delete this? Because you are super dead, friend. Not friendly, not neutral, not hostile, not alive is basically what I need this to happen. Oh, delete item. He did. There he is. So basically, you see this other guy hit. You see him fall, hit his friend. His friend gets hit in the process. They both stumble. This guy falls right on top of his head and just cracks his head onto the pavement or the wooden floor, and he's just like laying there groaning like. And his friend is gonna take 2d6 of damage here. So that's 8 points of damage towards his friend. And so you see this other guy kind of fall into the ground. The other bandit, as his friend fell on top of him, got hit by like the back of the ankle. So it's just like a hard calcaneus kick to the skull, and he basically like falls down onto the ground. And then this last bandit is basically going to turn around. Let me do a perception check for this last bandit here. And they're modified. Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Jade, this guy turns around, sees you, hears you coming because you're just stumbling around, and he's going to turn around. He's like, I don't want to go up there. Two of my buddies like fell. 3 people have fell down. He kind of wisened up. He's like, one guy got knocked off. A second guy got knocked off. I don't need any of this static. So, he's gonna go and do some attacks towards you. So,
Of course he is.
You're a big, buff barbarian person. You
Yeah.
got this.
Mhm.
There we are. And here we are. And okay, here we are. Okay, does a 12 hit?
Does not hit.
Okay, so he brings out his scimitar. He's gonna try and lunge at you, and you see this happening. You basically quickly, in a snappy fashion, try and wrap the whip around your arm, and you basically just block his sword strike with your arm wrapped around with a whip. And you like stare at him. Now that you're kind of standing there with a drunkenly composure, like this angry alcoholism like hits you, and you're just like standing stern and looking at him, like pissed off. You kind of feel like this kind of inner warmth kind of go upon you, and you feel like you're gonna knock this guy out. So we are going to this encounter thing. All right. So boom, boom, boom. Isabel, you're top of the round. That one's okay. So that's Bandit is gonna try and shake off his being stunned. I'm just gonna make him roll a general constitution check just to see if he can like get out of it. He successfully does, but he's gonna take his whole turn basically just getting up. And he rolled a 14 plus a. Here we are now. Boom. All right, 14 plus a. Constitution plus 2. So he rolled 16 altogether. He's able to get up. You see this bandit, kind of the guy in charge, get up and face towards you as well, like still trying to compose and breathe. He's wheezing. He's like, but he's standing straight up. That's all their turns, and then we're gonna go back up to Isabel. Isabel, it is currently your turn. So after a while, you kind of hear all this scuffling happening, and it is enough to rouse you awake. And you see her hair on the back of Sasha kind of like go straight up, and she is basically like roaring and trying to wake you up and tell you like things are happening and get up. And she's like pawing your face, like smushing your face, kind of like get you up. Muted, Isabel.
Oh, muted, babe.
Sorry. For the record, I love her. And B, Isabel is going to shove the cat out of the way, grab her longbow, and head up on deck.
Okay, so you try and shove her out of the way. She basically just like shoulders it and like doesn't care, and she almost like as you're getting up the stairs to go up there, she kind of like pushes your butt forward to kind of like get your butt going. Like, this is what we're about. Get out there. Alrighty, so we will put you out there, and I don't have an Isabel token, but we'll just say she's or a Sasha token yet. So you were able to make your way out onto the ship. You make your way out into the ship, the main decks. You pop out there, and then actually I might be able to muster this very quickly. But what would you like to do? Are you going to take the rest of your turn just to get up in combat? You have your arrow, so actually you have range to kind of shoot and attack, but Sasha can't.
Yeah, Sasha's just going to stay with me right now, and Isabel is going to fire off a pot shot at bandit number 3.
Okay, bandit number 3. All right, yeah, because they're all falling like flies here. So you're going to take a pot shot at bandit number 3. Let me pull up his stuff here. So you got a 3 there?
Hold on.
Is that adding your...
It's a 9 in total.
9 in total. Okay, let me look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you shoot this shot, and it basically just goes off his armor. It bounces right off as he's now aware of your presence. He turns over to you, and he's now looking at Jade, processing the scene, looking at Jade, looking up at Zilrora, and then looking at you, Isabel, with this huge Ligers that came out of nowhere. And he's just like trying to decide whether or not to stay, basically. Let me... and does Sasha have anything that she can do currently?
Other than using 30 feet of movement to get all up in his grill, I don't think so.
Okay. Are you going to make her dash? Is that possible?
I mean, every creature does have the dash action as part of their bonus action, right? So, yeah, Sasha's gonna run up to the guy.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll have Sasha come up. I think, nope, well, there's a pin. That's great. That's not what I need, though. And click on that. Oh, you know what? I just bring this person into the encounters thing, and that should bring up a token. Tiger. Here we are. T is for tiger. Do you see the tiger token on there?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
And you're going towards the bandit captain or the bandit 3?
Bandit captain.
Bandit captain. Cool, perfect. She's on top of him. Totally on top of him. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then we have the next person in the encounter. The next person in the encounter is... it's going to be you, Jade.
Okay. I don't see where my token went. So I'm not sure where I am in relation to the bandits, but I'm assuming I'm still close to bandit 3.
Yeah, let me get your token out there real quick.
It'll probably say like unnamed because I was having struggles with fantasy
Yep.
cards.
Encounter. And then once next session, you guys just put icons or tokens there so
Okay.
we know. So,
Yes.
oh, that's
Okay, there we go.
you're basically right in the middle of
So-
the bandit 3 and
Mhm.
the king bandit guy.
And the bandit captain, right. And I'm kind of mad that that one guy pulled his sword on me when he's on my ship / well, not my ship, but it's not his ship. And he's threatening my friends.
Yep.
So I think with all that whiskey, with the sleep getting interrupted, with this guy being rude, Jade would like to rage.
All right, go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead and rage there. How do you rage?
Yes.
She's
I want to see the barbarian
going to
rage.
rage. She's just. You should not be on this ship. Just kind of.
Yeah,
She
so you
doesn't
grab
really
your whip.
Hulk out, but man, she grabs
you
her
grab your
whip
whip from your arm and unravel it, and you're like, you shouldn't be here, and you like kind of taut the whip so it makes like a cracking noise, and so that
Yep.
guy like he's shocked for a second and like looks at you, looks at the guy, the bandit in charge, and like looks back, and he's trying to ascertain whether or not to stay or like run away. Now that everyone's kind of there, he sees
and
two of his friends kind of down, and the fight is not looking like
you know,
it's worth there.
because I have to make an attack when I'm
Yep.
raging, or I
You
lose
should,
it.
yeah.
So I'm gonna let go of the whip with one hand, and I'm just gonna deck Bandit 3 straight in the face.
Okay.
Nice.
So go ahead and roll. I need your strength modifier
So
because you're
I
just
have
hitting him.
not an attack roll, or
Are you using the whip, or you're just using your fist?
I'm using my fist. It's a melee
Yes,
attack.
So I just need. Are you proficient in unarmed attacks?
Yeah, I have a +5 to my unarmed strikes.
Oh, yes, you are. Okay, well then there we are. So we'll roll a d20 with +5. Thank you. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 7. Do you have one attack
Ow.
per round?
Let me double check.
You have a second one. Because I think barbarians have 2. Pretty sure.
Think I get 2. I have 2 weapon fighting, if that counts.
We'll do it. For
I've
this
never
time,
played a
then we'll figure it
barbarian
out.
before.
We'll figure out next session. But for now, we will do it.
Okay.
We'll have you attack again.
Okay,
that's a
so this
13.
time I'm going.
That definitely hits.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So, and because I'm raging, I get +2 to melee attacks,
Mhm.
and it's an automatic 4, so that's 6
Oh.
total.
So you do 6 damage to this guy. Let me get this. He has not been hurt yet.
Right
so...
in the face. Right in the
Nice.
nose.
So you do 6 damage to this bandit. He kind of like holds his nose back. He like walks back. He's like, "Oh, it's not worth it. I need to go." And you see like blood dripping
Good
down
answer.
his face. And he's like basically shooting out like snot rockets of blood like out of his nose as he's like trying to hold his bearing at the moment. Let's see here.
You're right.
That's your
It's not worth it.
Zelrora, you are still on top of the bird's nest. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I am on top of the bird's nest, and how many guys are down, and how many can I tell are dead?
One guy is definitely down. The other 2 aren't looking so good. One guy's basically just like lying unconscious. He's not dead, but he's basically unconscious on the floor.
Okay, I
And
would
then
like to.
the other bandit guy has fell from the great height. He doesn't look too good too. Yeah, so that's what you see down below. And you see both your friends come up. So you see Jade's currently there fighting some people, and you see Isabel finally came with Sasha, and they're starting to engage in battle.
Okay, I'm going to descend from the bird's nest
Okay.
and get down with everyone else.
Do you want to
And-
do it? I'll allow you to do acrobatics if you want to get down swiftly.
Sure.
And then you won't waste your whole movement, because then you're using gravity to kind of help you go down. So go ahead and roll,
Let's do
adding
it.
your acrobatics.
Boom. Okay.
Straight 13?
Okay. No, that is a 15.
15, perfect. So straight, you get a 15. You're able to kind of use some of your axe on the mast to kind of slow your fall a little bit as you're like railing down. You come down and you're like joining your friends. You still have, I'll say you still have like 10 feet of movement just from being efficient with your movement going down.
Okay. I would like to position myself so that are the bandits that are up, are they fairly close together?
Yeah, so if you look on the map, you're kind of to
Yeah.
the left of Bandit 3, and you right on the other side of you is going to be Jade. So you'll essentially get advantage if you attack this bandit in front of you.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to attack.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to one rapier at one bandit, other rapier at the other bandit, and I'm gonna look at the guy who is definitely dead,
Mm-hmm.
and look at the other two bandits and just say, "Honey, this is not worth it. This is not worth your life. Leave now before I change my mind."
Okay, go ahead and let's see here. At that moment, you do see Dorothy and Jerome kind of come up and try and figure out what's going on. They're like, "Hey, what's going? Oh, what the? Hey, get on my ship! Hey, you don't belong here. You don't want to see what I can do." And so, go ahead and make your intimidation check with advantage.
Woo!
Now that Jerome and Dorothy, they're kind of getting outnumbered here, so.
Nice.
Okay. That would be a 19.
Okay, so this bandit looks at you, looks at his boss, and is like, "Hey, boss, it's not what we should just go. We should just." And his boss is basically still wheezing. He's like, "Oh, what about the gold?" And you hear the guy who's trying to decide to leave. He's like, "It's not worth it. We got one guy. One of our friends already. We just need to go. One of our friends already down." And you see the guy that you're talking to basically grab the other bandit, and basically they start slowly towards you, like they look towards you and back their way, backstepping off the ship. And you see Dwarthig basically just run up towards them and is basically pushing them off the ship, like trying to act like he's like taking control of the situation. But you guys already like handled everything, and he's just pushing. He's like, "I better not see you again. You know, if I see you again, I swear I'll just break your backs. You don't want to have a broken back. I've had a broken back before. You don't want that. I'll give you that broken back." And so it's like just basically chasing him off like way further than he should, as Jerome is trying to check up on you guys, or not Jerome, but Jamero.
I would like to, at some point during all that, point my rapier at Dorothic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
And-
eventually comes back onto the ship after he pushed these other guys away.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to say, one of those men died tonight because they were looking for that gold that Isabel stole from the mail buoy.
Oh damn, my bad. I thought well, there's not such thing as a mailboy. I never thought you'd fall for it. No one ever falls for it. I never fell for it. Like I don't understand why. But I mean, we got that gold. I thought it was good. We spent it at the bar. We had a good time. You know, I know we have a dead guy, but they were trying to rob us. I mean, they lost the fight, so we good. I think we good. But hey, that's a hell of a sea story. You got your first sea story. We didn't leave
How
port yet.
much gold
And you got your
was it?
first sea story.
How much gold out of what we found have you spent? How much in total?
And you like I'm supposed to share with all you guys, so I haven't spent much. Just the stuff out with the bar. That's all I had to do today. That's the only time I get off the ship to do anything. So we still got like all that gold.
Okay, give it to me.
What?
I'm
You're not
giving
the
it
boss,
back to
though.
them. They just lost a friend over a stupid fucking prank. I am giving them their gold.
You hear Jamero just say, "Go ahead and make a persuasion check."
Persuasion. That
All right.
is a 22.
So you like say this stuff, and then Jamero basically comes up like behind you,
and looks at Dorothy. He's like, "Hey, sometimes we gotta sacrifice, and sometimes we gotta let it go. We gotta let it go, Dorothy. This is not the time, you know. Let them have their sea story. Let's just. We all came out of this one alive. That guy didn't. We're all fine. We survived another day. Just give him the gold." And Dorothy's like, "Man, but this would be the best story ever, This new crew, new people, new blood, spilled blood. That's fine though. Where's the treasure at?" And so Jerome gets or Jamero gets the gold, gives it to Dorothy. Dorothy, like, you see him just make his way into the night towards that ship and to hand it off to the guys who just fought off. And Jamero basically like gets the rest of the bodies on the ship, like the unconscious guy and the other dead guy, and basically just gets them off the ship and talks to a guard, and they escort them off. So, well, that's our session 0, guys. We did it. We got there. We got some rolls done.
We killed a guy.
We really
We
did
killed
it.
a guy.
Yeah. Always a fun time when that happens.
Did my first stream, so that's there's definitely some stuff to improve on. This is so new to me. Thank you, chat, for hanging in there. And we got some murder in. We got some drunk stuff in. Someone fell for a male buoy in classic Navy sailor ways. So we hit all our points. Which, that male buoy, totally a thing in the Navy. And I had to implement that for sure. So, I don't know if we start doing a wrap up here, but I'll give you some of where you can find me on the internet, and I'll pass it around. So my name is Michael Kritz. Well, that's my stage name, but Michael Kritz, Michael Sinclair. You can find me at Michael Kritz on Twitter. You can find me Michael Kritz on Instagram, and reach out to me if you like the show. Go and tweet stuff out to me, and I'll pass it over to Isabel, or rather Pepper. Go ahead and do your little outro.
All right. As always, you can find me on Twitter and an archive of our own at mebethem4815. I had a lot of fun tonight. I was pleasantly surprised on that natural 20 for that seduction roll, given I'm playing a ranger, not a bard. Who figured?
We had to get a 20 at some point.
At some point, we had to get a 20. It happened to be for the gay. Like I said, you can find me on Twitter and Archive of Our Own, and I use they, them pronouns. Back to you.
All right. And also, before I pass it over to the next cast member, pronouns are huge here. I'm he, him. We have a couple folks here who are them, they. He, she, her. These are important things to me and to the rest of my cast. So if you do refer to any of us, make sure you use our proper pronouns. Anyway, I'll pass it over to Lindsay. Go ahead and do your outro.
So yeah, you can find me at Twitter at DeBurbles, Bubbles the Mermaid. You can also find me on Instagram and on Tumblr as something that says Bubbles, and you may have noticed that I was all up in the chat today. And yeah, I was so nervous before this, and I'm just so glad. Like, I just had such a fun time with you guys. Y'all some beautiful people. Yeah.
Oh, we love you
come
too.
Join us next.
Oh.
Come join us next time, guys.
Hell
We'd
yeah.
be happy to have you.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Lindsay. And then Alexei, last but not least, go ahead and give us your outro.
Yep. So again, you can find me on Twitter as ASG Creations with 2 underscores. On Instagram, also ASG Creations, but with a dot. And I had a lot of fun for my first stream. I admit I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure where I'd come into conversations, but wow, getting Jade drunk was like the best decision ever.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what emotions is, but she sure has them. And the first thing she's gonna do next session is puke over the side of the ship.
Yep. You gotta do that. That's part of the
Yep.
whole sailor culture.
Yep. I think she got to 9. shots, 8 or 9. So A+ there. And
You guys are hitting
yeah,
up
I think
it's awesome. That's
I think that was a pretty great session 0.
And then we'll also next week, if you're are you good to go, Jade?
Yes, I'm good.
Or Alexei? I'm getting used to transitions of names.
Hi.
Next week we have most, if not all, of our cast members. So
Hooray.
some people had some family emergencies, like I said. I believe most of the screen names you see there under their black portraits, you can find them there at least probably on Twitter, if anything, through those handles. This has been an amazing, fun time. If you guys have questions in the chat right now, I think we have some time to answer a couple of them. But yeah, I'm glad you guys had a good time, though. The crew here, the Saltmarsh crew,
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
and definitely shaking some nerves and cobwebs off. And I'm learning how to use this fantastic Fantasy Ground stuff. You guys should check that out. And yeah, like a couple hours, like Fantasy Ground was awesome to use. Yeah, it was really amazing. Trying to learn how to use the interface. Like I could tell this system's gonna be really robust and awesome once I can start mastering it here. But yeah, how did you guys feel about today's session?
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun.
I think my Twitch chat is not working, so I can't see if anyone posts questions.
We'll try and get that
I got
fixed.
I got some questions.
Yeah.
What was your favorite things so far about this? From Short Skirt 13.
D&D
Yeah,
says gay rights.
Yeah,
He
gay
says
rights.
gay rights.
Definitely.
My favorite thing from today's session was getting out of my comfort zone and getting to act some of the people that you heard me voice act. It was just attempt to voice act, some voice acting, or some people who were close to me and made an impact in my life. So because I was around them so much, I could kind of, it's easier for me to pick up their voices, or you feel comfortable using their voices. So that was really fun to kind of do that for a live stream instead of just the home sessions me and Lindsay have done together. So that was great. What about you guys?
Your voice acting was so on point tonight. Like, let me just
It was
say,
great.
like
It was.
like I'm lucky enough that I've been playing a home game with Michael for like over a year now, and like he always just amazes me, and like tonight was just like mwah, just like yes here for it.
Awesome. And then we're gonna answer Tarek Locke here, who was in the stream. I'm glad you're gonna enjoy to see more, and being a newish player to D&D, you just have to get out there and do it. That's what we did tonight. This is definitely a new forum, new medium for me. So I'm comfortable normally at home with my homebrew at 3 years of doing that. So, but still, just get out there. We're gonna wrap up, but this has been Ghost of Saltmarsh. You've got Ghost of Saltmarsh, the Sirens Middle. You can catch us next Saturday, 8 p.m. We'll be here again, a bigger crew, and then we'll just say quick things about the people who have sponsors us. So we have Fantasy Grounds, which is what we use today for our D&D session. We'll get the map stuff going next session. You can also get miniatures from Wayland Games, 20% off D&D Warhammer 4K stuff. Go to waylandgames.com or waylandgames.co.uk, and also check out our sponsor, Tabletop Loot, who sells incredible dice. And if we ever hit the 20 retweets, we'll do a dice giveaway to one person in chat. We do those all the time here in Counter Roleplay, and so we appreciate you guys coming, and I guess we will sign off. So you guys have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.